Good evening. I am here. It is 1:01 a.m. on Thursday, January 15th. Oh boy. Wasn't here last night. I had some stuff I wanted to do, plus I kind of had a really bad headache yesterday, and it was persisting most of the day. So I decided to take the L and not stream. There's a couple things going on, really. I wasn't feeling great mentally, but also I was in physical pain. I thought it might be the flu, but I think it's just kind of general soreness. I don't know. My back is sore now for some reason. So, I don't know. It is what it is. Anyway, feeling better today? Mostly. My arm is still a little sore. My back is still a little sore. Also, hey, Efferman. Hey, dummy. You have a funny story. Ooh, I want to hear it. But yeah. I'm here tonight. I was going to do a different game yesterday, and then I considered doing it tonight, but I realized I really want to finish Case 4 of Dual Destinies, and considering how short it is and how much we managed to get done last night, or on Monday, we're actually probably within range to finish it in one more stream here, like one full stream. So that'll be good. And if I finish early, which I probably won't, I'll probably just, like, fuck off early. But I think tomorrow night I'm going to stream what I had planned for yesterday, which, as I've hinted, is going to be a Mega Man game. I haven't said which Mega Man game, but it will be a Mega Man game. Anyway, got my 24-ounce bottle of water here. I'm hydrated, I'm in my lane, moisturized, and I'm ready to figure out what's going on here. Friend's cat got in your lap while you were laying on the couch, and I asked her how the cat got in because the door was shut, and she's like, the door was shut? He somehow figured out how to turn the knob. Oh, I've seen cats that can do that. Like, they learn to jump up and grab the knob, because they know that that's what people use to open the doors, so they just learn by observation. It's amazing how smart animals can be. Oops, I hit that multiple times. There we go. Anyway, I'm not streaming it yet, but yeah, the Animal Crossing New Horizons update came out as well. Both the update and the Nintendo Switch 2 version are now officially out. Switch 2 upgrade is only $5, and it lets you play with up to 12 people if they all have the Switch 2 version, which is nice. And also you can also get the megaphone to like shout out villagers and stuff like you could in New Leaf. And also, you could use the mouse controls indoors to decorate. And the graphics are just sharper, too, of course. But everything else, the frame rate and the art style are all the same. But I will stream that, just probably not this week. I'm just not in the mood to go back to Animal Crossing. Because right now, outside the new content, the only other thing I have to do in Animal Crossing, or want to do in Animal Crossing, is finish Happy Home Paradise. And I'm not in the mood for that right now. Anyway, last stream. We finished episode 3. We discovered that the teacher, Professor Aristotle Means, was the one who killed Constance Court, Professor Constance Court, because of briberies and stuff. And he was going to use false evidence to get everyone off the hook. But we bagged him. Did I miss Ramble? Kinda. You just missed me saying I had a headache last night. And then we started Case 4, where Apollo took up the defense of the astronaut Solomon Starbuck, who was convicted, who was not convicted, he was accused of killing his subordinate and Apollo's best friend that he only mentioned one case ago, Clay Terran. We made some progress in the case, but before any major headway could happen, the bombing incident that caused the first case of the game happens. And now Apollo is injured. It is now after the bombing incident and that first trial day, and we're going to pick up from that investigation day. His name is Mashed Potato, and since he's a white cat, he really looks like a big ball of mashed potato. Especially because my friend is half-blind, so she sees his 2 yellow eyes and a strange potato with legs. Aww. Another thing, the cat again got in your lap, noticing a pattern. I has to get off because I hadn't taken an allergy pill that day. Oof. Adorably irritating bitch gets up, meows at me, and then sits on your face. In the middle of the Space Center bombing trial, we had another bombing incident. So yeah, the Space Center got bombed, but Clay was killed with a knife. This one destroyed courtroom number 4. Furthermore, Apollo suffered massive injuries from being there when the bomb went off, despite the fact that he was standing in court the next day with bandages on. Unfortunately, Juniper Woods was fingered as the courtroom bomber. Phrasing, Phoenix. Athena and I knew she had to be innocent, so we took her case on. I'm like trying to predict what it's going to say, and I'm failing. We managed to clear Miss Wood's name. But Apollo sustained further injuries when he was attacked by Ted Tonate. Here's what you missed from the ramble. I was talking about why I skipped last night, and then I mentioned that the Animal Crossing update came out, and that's really it. And then I talked about streaming Mega Man tomorrow. December 19th, 3:21 p.m. Wright Anything Agency. So this is right after the first case now. So this is right after we found Juniper not guilty of the courtroom bombing and killing Candace Arm, who unfortunately is important to this case because she was one of the people who found the body. A detective who specialized in bomb cases, was on detail at the Space Center, one of the first to find the body, and now she is dead because of Ted Tonate. So, unfortunately, one of our biggest leads in this case is now dead. And Apollo is out of commission, so Phoenix is taking up the mantle now. Apollo's a tough guy, but this is taking its toll on him. Yeah, poor guy, being attacked by Tonate like that on top of all of his other injuries. Apollo was resting at the nearby Hickfield Clinic. I've had some experience with that place myself. What an awful turn of events. I never thought he'd land in a hospital, of all places. You must miss him too, huh? Now that you don't have anybody else to tease. Don't worry, he's young. He'll heal quickly and be back before you know it. It's been a while since I last saw Trucy look so down. We won the court case, yet nobody feels much like celebrating. Alright, enough of this, people. This is no time to be moping around. Now dry those eyes, both of you. You're the only one who's crying, Athena. Technicalities. Look, we have work to do. We have to take over. Take over what exactly? Apollo Space Center case, of course. As no verdict's been reached, there's still a chance. I agree with Athena. We should pick up where Mr. Starbuck's defense. We have to avenge our fallen comrade. Right, Daddy? Apollo hasn't exactly fallen. He's still alive, you know. He's fallen down. He's turned to dust. Good. Now that that's settled, let's get going. Come on, we gotta run. Wait, right now? We better not be running the whole way. There she goes. I better go catch up. Can you take care of the office, Trucy? Sure thing, Daddy. Let's be careful out there. In the meantime, I'm going to bake some cookies and fill up my magic panties for you. Trucy seems to be feeling a little better. I always count on Athena to perk everybody up with her enthusiasm. Oh, she's back. Didn't we do this already? I mean, Athena's done this several times this game. Don't mind me, just forgot a few things. Wallet, phone, the documents, my bag. Sounds more like you forgot everything. I always count on Athena for that, too. Alright, you two, let's be careful out there. December 19th, Detention Center. Visitor's room. Also, it's really weird that Phoenix is like, we have to go now? It's like, yeah, Solomon's trial is going to resume tomorrow. If we're taking over, we have to be out there, especially since it's 3 in the afternoon. Visiting hours here end at like 6. So our client is one Solomon Starbuck. He's so famous even I've heard of him. That's right, he's a super famous astronaut who works at the Cosmos Space Center. He was actually up in outer space 7 years ago. You seem to know quite a bit about him. I'm all excited to meet the man. Why does Trucy call Phoenix Daddy? Because Phoenix is Trucy's adoptive father. And why does she keep mentioning her panties? Because her panties are magical and she could pull stuff out of them. They look like big granny panties. And yes, it is as dumb as it sounds. Wow, that was the longest sigh I've ever heard. Apollo told me all about you. You're Phoenix Wright, Apollo's mentor, right? Yes, that's right. Mentor has a nice ring to it. Don't worry about a thing, Mr. Starbuck. Mr. Wright and I have got you covered. And you're the new kid that Apollo told me about. Wait, don't I know you from somewhere? Huh? You mean other than at your trial? I don't think so. I guess so. My mistake. How do I feel about that script writing? I mean, it was like that since Apollo Justice. They can't change it now. You know, it's really funny that Solomon's hair looks like your typical rocket. Yep. He has like the little fins at the bottom, and then the pencil head at the top. My memory isn't what it used to be. My mind and body are kaput. Same goes for my life. I mean, I'm so astronomically unlucky that I had a bomb go off in the middle of my trial. Trying to defend me would be like trying to enter the stratosphere without a spacecraft. Yikes. He's seriously got to stop depressing himself. Meowdy, Karma. Good stream yesterday. Cheer up, Mr. Starbuck. Besides... Wait, what? I forgot to read that. Besides, the thing that you said about entering the stratosphere, that just means we'd shine like shooting stars, right? Like shooting stars, huh? You know, you're right. Why didn't I think of that? After all, that's what we were put on this earth to do, right? To shine like stars. Just bought new earphones. It broke after I fell asleep. Aw. Got a mind like a steel trap, but he's a little rusty. Yesterday? I mean, it was yesterday for me. I guess it would be more like 2 days for you. Guess I shouldn't mention the fact that shooting stars burn out in a flash. Oh yeah, here we go! 3, 2, 1! To the stratosphere and beyond! Yeah, I feel alive now. You can go ahead and ask me anything you want. Yeah, I was teasing Karma during a stream. Is that really all it takes? So, what do you think about this? The evidence is gonna get me convicted. No, it's my attorney's badge. I was hoping it would reassure you that we're here to defend you. Evidence isn't just for the prosecution. It can help a person's innocence, too. It can help prove a person's innocence. That's a positive spin on things. Thought that was common knowledge. Clay always used to cheerfully greet me in a loud voice. And he did vocal exercises every morning, sometimes until he was hoarse, right? Exactly. You could always hear him, even through the wall. Hey, wait a minute. Did you know Clay? No, but like attracts like, as they say. Do you know anything about this piece of evidence? No. Sorry I'm so useless. No, it's alright. There's no need to get all depressed. To infinity and be yoop. If it makes Karma feel better, I spent a week shiny hunting for mythical Pokemon, finally got it, and your Switch died. Didn't save because I didn't know it was shiny right away. Oh. Clay carried me out and saved me. But after all that... to be killed with this blade... and the fact that the killer might be me... Now he's got you sighing, boss. Karma, did you see the shiny I lost the other week? I actually didn't lose it because it saved before it spawned. Or after it spawned, so I was able to get it. Here, let me show you real quick. Want to co-stream sometime? Sure! But here's the thing, you're 12 or 13 hours ahead of me. So it's not gonna be easy to sync that time up. So this happened before the last time I streamed this game. Actually, it might have been after I finished. No, it was before. So I went to look for a shiny here. There was nothing, so I left. And then I was like, oh, there's a fletchling over there. Then I saw it was shiny and it flew away. Like you could see the emotions I went through. The emotions and the motions when I left here. I did get it because, again, I reloaded the save, and it turns out it had spawned before I saved, so it was still there. Also, you left slow mode on? Wait a minute, I did? Hold on, refresh. It's not supposed to be on. Siri bot is supposed to disable that automatically. Let me see here. Also, yeah, there's Animal Crossing Nintendo Switch 2 edition. Chat settings. Slow mode should be off. It might say it's on, but just you're not going to be held to it. The case. Sometimes Twitch gets a little goofy with that. Yeah, the bots are kind of weird. Like the bots that we set up, not the spam bots, obviously. Also, hey, Merc. So you have no memory at all of the incident? I'm so ashamed. My memory of the time is as black and clouded as a dark nebula. Isn't that a Kirby boss? Still, it's strange you don't remember a thing. Are you sure you didn't take one of those anti-anxiety pills like they said at the trial? It is true I developed a fear of space because of what happened 7 years ago. And I was taking medication secretly every now and then when my anxiety got bad. You're not supposed to take it when the anxiety gets bad. You're supposed to be on a constant intake of it. Having a fear of space is not something an astronaut can brag about, you know? Oh, the so-called Hat 1 miracle? That must have been a terrifying experience. But I'm still an astronaut at heart, come what may. I would never take drugs that might impede my performance just before a launch. That launch meant everything to me. That's more certain than the theory of relativity. Seems like a completely different person now. This is the face of the astronaut I know. But the tranquilizers were found in your system. Yeah, see, that's the thing. But I don't know why. I'm done for. If you didn't take them, then maybe somebody slipped them to you. Exactly. That's what I thought. Must have been the real culprit. My medication was in my locker. Anybody could have gotten their hands on it. I mean, hey, lunches mean everything to me as well. I didn't eat a ton before streaming tonight. I'm probably going to have to eat something when the stream's done. You're just now seeing you? I saw you before. I just forgot to say hi. Maybe the real culprit also planted the detonator switch in your pocket. Yeah, that's gotta be it. I've been framed. I'll say, they even managed to plant your prints on the switch before slipping it in. It's a real possibility. Do you remember anything else that might be relevant? Anything at all, no matter how small. Like about the murder weapon, for example. That knife. I think it came from one of the Space Center's utility kits. Utility kits? Yeah, staff who work on machinery a lot are given these special toolkits to use. All the technicians have them, so I doubt you could prove whose knife it is. From a set of utility tools used by the Space Center techs. The Hat 1 miracle. As I recall, your last trip into space was 7 years ago. Take a shot, right? That's right. It was a pretty rough experience. During that mission, we had all kinds of problems with the craft. You did? What kind of problems? Power failure, oxygen leakage, busted radio, cracked windows, loose control column. The heat shield came off as we were entering the atmosphere. I thought I was a goner. But I managed to make it somehow with the popsicles and ice packs from the freezer. No wonder they dubbed it the Hat 1 miracle. It's a miracle you made it back. Take a shot for the 7 years, yeah. 7 years in Dark Age of the Law. Gotta take a shot every time. Space is a boundless place. That's why it continues to capture people's imaginations. But the vastness of space shows us how insignificant we are in the scheme of things. You already finished your shot challenge with the end justifies the means. Justifies karma. Yeah. You sacrificed the fudge bars. No! Don't worry, it was just those childhood popsicles that are like in the plastic thing where you like squeeze out the kind of like solid ice that melts like immediately. No, it was the barrels. It was little barrels full of juice that you get as a kid. The little plastic barrels. Darkness just goes on forever, and ever, and ever, without end. There was nobody else there. Nobody was gonna come save me. I was all alone. Didn't you have a co-pilot? All alone with nothing to listen to, but the sound of my own breathing and heartbeat. I kept scrambling to make repairs, but I couldn't keep my hands from shaking. I don't remember this part. I don't remember this, like, flashback at all. An experience like that would make anybody afraid to go up into space. Go to Demon's Academy Attorney and you came out as a clown. Well, it's like, Barak von Zeke says in Great Ace Attorney, you aren't just the clown, you're the entire circus. That's what it truly means for the end justifies the means. I like the push-ups with the gummy candy bugs in it. No one makes that stuff like that anymore. I know what you're talking about. I've never had one of those. An experience like that would make anybody afraid to go back up into space. Huggies, that's what they were called when I had them. That description to the name Push, you match the description to the name Push Pop. But see, Push Pop's also a type of, like candy. With the experience you had, weren't you dreading this mission? What? No way. Of course not. Even now I want to go up into space so bad I could barely stand it. I want to shake off the Earth's gravity and escape velocity and spin around weightless. But you have to admit it was pretty harrowing. Weren't you even a tiny bit afraid? I was afraid. Of course I was. Still am. But space is man's final frontier. An unknown world. The cosmic truth is out there, waiting for us somewhere. Cosmic truth, huh? Guess there are people looking for the truth in every walk of life. Ugh. I mean, like the frozen treats, right? Yeah. Huggies are like the barrels of juice, or at least they were. They don't sell them where I live anymore. I don't know what they were called. No matter how afraid I am, I'm sure I can manage. If I give in to my fear, I'll never find the truth. As long as I don't give up, I can keep up the fight. Those were Otter Pops, yes. One thing's for sure. Mr. Starbuck's passion... Starbucks? Starbuck. He's a chicken. Mr. Starbuck's passion for space is undeniably the real deal. The victim, Clay Terran. He was kind of like your protege, wasn't he? Well, it wasn't a big exaggerated deal like Master and Apprentice or anything like that. But Clay did think of me as his mentor. The mentor and protege. What a combination they must have been. With his encouragement, I knew I could get over my fear and go back into space. But now... Clay must have been very encouraging, huh? Yeah, it's funny, really. Whenever I'd hear him shout, "You're fine!" I always got the feeling everything really was gonna be just fine. You're fine? Apollo says I'm fine, and you're fine all the time, too. And I always feel encouraged, too, whenever I hear him shout it. Chimkin, Deltarune explosion sound effect. That's not the same explosion sound effect, but I was thinking about how funny the Deltarune explosion sound was the other day. There's some new Deltarune thing going around about a Japanese book series that has a character that looks very much like a friend in it. Never saw a barrel juice, and I don't think I have still. Was it everywhere in this country? I don't know. Oh yeah, Little Hug. They do still sell them. Fruit barrels. Good source of B and E vitamins, and probably tons and tons of sugar. Sorry, 75% less sugar than other leading drinks. 2 grams per bottle. That's still a lot. Little hug. I used to remember them not having a logo on them, but maybe that's just me. Also, I don't remember them having a straw, but straw's included. So, that, of course, that's a newer version of it. I'm sure there's like the old vintage version, but this does seem to be the only brand that actually makes it. It's just Hug, and then there's a bigger Hug that's like an actual like bottle. Yeah, it's exactly them. This thing's all sugar. It's not a thing here in the Pacific Northwest. I mean, check the Walmarts, I guess. Nothing but 0.5% juice, artificial sweeteners, and red dye 40. Childhood. Yes, indeedy. Yeah, Clay and Apollo were best buds. They used to come visit the Space Center a lot ever since they were high school kids. One day out of the blue, Clay even told me he wanted to be my protege. Oh, I forgot to go back to the main capture. Thank you. Those two hung around the Space Center so much they were like part of the staff. One time during zero-G training, I started to panic a little bit. And the two of them took turns shouting, "You're fine!" over the radio. It was a simple thing, but it was exactly what I needed to hear. Why were they allowed in the Space Center? So I'm fine and you're fine were like Apollo and Clay's secret phrases, huh? Going to bed, dummy? Okay. Take care. Sleep tight. You fucking know it. I wish I could ask Apollo more about Clay and their relationship now. Speaking of Clay, how do you suppose he climbed down the ladder with you over his shoulder? Sorry, but I can't even begin to imagine. But he actually did climb down the ladder, so a way has to exist. From the freedom of space to the walls of a cell. But that prosecutor said the dark night sky isn't half bad through the barred windows. You're fine. Solomon Soul Starbuck is fine. Everything's going to be alright. Huh? And Athena Sykes is fine. Come on, Mr. Wright. You too. Do I really have to? Phoenix Wright is fine. I can't hear you! Phoenix Wright is fine! We'll get you back into space yet, Mr. Starbuck. Believe in your own innocence and have faith in us. Apollo believed in you wholeheartedly, and that's good enough for me. I believe in you too. Thank you. Thank you, both of you. I'll put my faith in you. And I vow to make it back into space. All I need first is a not guilty verdict. Sure feels nice to reassure ourselves every now and then that we're all fine. Okay, Mr. Wright. Let's get our investigation of the Space Center started. Pronto. Good idea. Let's go. Prosecutors can be cruel sometimes, yeah, especially Blackwell. You went to visit Apollo in the hospital, right? How was he? He seemed to be doing well. He was doing his cords of steel exercises in his room. Guess he's pretty gung-ho to get back to work. Was he shouting stuff like objection and I'm fine? No, he was yelling, "Thank you for coming to visit me, and thank you, doctor, for taking care of me." And stuff like that. Guess those voice work out can be pretty flexible. I think Blackwell's probably the worst in the franchise who isn't a Von Karma. I mean, he's just very blunt and negative. Wait till the next game. Prosecuting the next game is a piece of work, let me tell you. Notice anything, Trucy? What do you mean, Daddy? Is your attorney's badge somehow different? Did you bend it out of shape or something? It's not that easy to bend something so small out of shape, you know. Did you change your hairstyle? Or maybe it's your suit. I don't know, you look like you always do to me, Daddy. It really wasn't what I was asking. Oh, after he gets in trouble with the cops, I'm Apollo Justice and I'm fined. Guess presenting your attorney's badge is like your quick trick, huh, Daddy? So it's just a trick to you, huh? Wow, that was a... So it's just a trick to you, huh? Well, you are one of the talents in our Wright Anything agency, after all. But I have to say that an attorney's badge won't get many laughs. I don't care if I don't get laughs, as long as I can clear my client's name. That's a good one, Daddy. I'm no match for you, though, Trucy. Daddy, you should be careful about showing evidence to a magician. That's true. You can make anything disappear. Well, anything up to about a yard in diameter, anyway. My magic panties are in extra-dimensional space. Guess only a space probe can help us figure out how they work then, huh? What's the source of the Wright Anything agency? So it was originally this office was the Fay and Company law offices, and it was Mia Fay and Phoenix Wright. Then when Mia got killed, murdered, she essentially told Maya through channeling to formally give the office to Phoenix. So the office became the Wright and Company law offices. Yeah, Fay and Company law offices. Oop, there goes the namesake. One case in. Yep. So then he renames it the Wright and Company law offices, and then following the incident at this point 8 years ago from Apollo Justice, where Phoenix lost his attorney's badge, he then adopted Trucy, and since Trucy's a magician and he wasn't a lawyer anymore, he couldn't really call his business a law office anymore. So Trucy suggested they call it the Wright Talent Agency, which is what they did, while Phoenix was a piano player and Trucy was making money as a magician. And now that Phoenix is a lawyer again, and now that they brought on Apollo and Athena, they were like, well, now we're not a talent agency anymore. We're a talent agency and a law office. So now it's just the Wright Anything agency. Hey, Kyle, how you doing? You can also make anything up, including fabricated evidences. Yes, Trucy. To be fair, Trucy did not make that evidence. She just handed it to him. Wright Talent Agency, I guess, and now it's just kind of the Wright Anything Agency. Yeah, exactly. Tired? Essentially, was a law office, then it was a talent agency, then now it's a law office again, but also a talent agency. There's a conversation Trucy has to have with you at some point to get an achievement. It's about Apollo, and I don't know what it is, so I'm just kind of blasting her with evidence every time I see her. Stuff full of chicken nuggets, though. Nice. Entrance. December 19th. Cosmos Space Center. Entrance. Should now become a chimkin nugget. Is this where we get to meet Yuri? Wait till you meet Yuri. Wow, I was wondering what kind of place this Space Center would be. Almost looks like an amusement park of the future. Yeah. Did you know they even let the public see their rockets up close? Oh, so check it out. Look at how brightly the GAXA logo, the GATA logo, shines in the sunlight above the entranceway. Really dig the stars and rocket motif it's got going. GAXA, huh? Isn't that the new name of the Federal Space R&D program? Yeah, but why the strange acronym? I mean, what is GAS supposed to stand for? Galaxy? If that were it, then the whole thing would be something like the Galaxy Exploration Agency. Which, if you ask me, I'd have abbreviated to GAXA, or even Gaia. I guess so. Oh, I know. Maybe the person who came up with the name just really likes the letter Y. This exchange is beginning to feel oddly like deja vu. This game came out the same year, Pokemon X and Y came out. So, hearing that someone likes the letter Y makes me think of Pokemon Y. No, Gat. Not just you, right? Stranger Things has pressed the name Yuri firmly into Rusky territory for you. Well, that's kind of the point. Anyway, this place is more than just a research facility. It's also a tourist attraction. Tourist attraction? Don't make me laugh. It's a monument to the human race. Galactic Scooter, full speed ahead! Best character in this case. Is that a rover segue? Yeah. Yikes, who's this geezer and what's he want? Look upon me and look well! Behold the great power of space science! Pardon me, but you are... My glorious name is Yuri Cosmos. Also, he's got, like, Starmen on his, jacket. Like, they have, like, the Mario Starman eyes. I'm the director of the Cosmos Space Center. The center of the cosmos! Boss, that was pretty groan-inducing. Dude has the mustache of the star from Mario Party DS. If this person's the Space Center's director, then that means... Aha! So you were one of the first to discover Clay's body, weren't you? Time for a sip. Ah, I got water in my eye. That is correct. I was honored to be the very first man in all of space and time to discover the body. But this talk of the incident, are you by any chance the space police? Can't tack the word space onto just any old thing, you know. No, we're space lawyers. We're Mr. Starbuck's lawyers. We're here to investigate his case. Are you space lawyers? Yes. Oh, and we're Earth lawyers, by the way. Fuck. Do you not see star? Yeah, no, I pointed that out. He's got multiple starmen on his chest. We get it. You're from space. We get it. You're from Australia. Ah, I see. Yes, I've heard about you. In that case, by my esteemed privilege, I grant you permission to investigate. I trust you are appropriately grateful. Now go on. Have at it. I can already tell he's going to be nothing but trouble. Don't let him hear you say that, or you'll see what trouble really is. Let's just be professional and ask him about when he found the body, okay? Let the spider bite you. Yuri Cosmos. So as director, what do you do here at the Space Center specifically? Defend peace across the galaxy and promote space development in this country. No matter what obstacles stand in our way, we keep going, for the sake of mankind. I believe I used the word specifically in my question. Attention all personnel, to your break stations. Prepare for break. Oh, I get it. You just wander around and tell people what to do in a self-important manner. That is exactly right, because I'm an important man and my manner is important. Mr. Wright, this man doesn't get sarcasm. Well, there's bound to be some people like that here in the boundlessness of space. What's that? Want to know what it is that makes me important specifically? Very well, I'll tell you. I was the central figure of the Hat 1 project. You may proceed to be appropriately impressed. Now go ahead, have at it. I might be more impressed if I knew what he did for it, specifically. About the bombing. Could you tell us what you know about the incidents from the other day? I refuse. What? Explaining is a job for common folk, not the director of the Center of the Cosmos. My testimony, which will go down in space history, will be heard in the courtroom. What? So does that mean you'll be taking the stand tomorrow? That is correct. I will be the most glorious witness in the history of mankind. I'm not sure if he really understands what being a witness is all about. Looks like Director Cosmos is the type that only talks about what he wants to talk about. Let's at least try to ask him about the things he might be willing to open up about. About Hat 1. The Hat 1 was a rocket that launched into space 7 years ago, correct? Shot. And despite numerous problems, it somehow made its way back home? I suppose it is part of my job to educate ignorant young folk like you. Very well, I will impart to you the complete story of the Hat 1 project. Oh, thank you very much. Hat 1's noble mission was to collect samples from an asteroid, and Mr. Starbuck was the pilot for that flight. Eventually, the Hat 1 reached its planned orbit, from where it launched the Hope probe towards the asteroid belt. From there, the Hope probe began its long, lonely journey into the far reaches of space. Then, after a terrifying struggle, the Hat 1 returned safely to Earth. That struggle was the incident known as the Hat 1 miracle, right? Correct, and it truly was a miracle. Of course, they just had to turn the ordeal into a movie. As for the Hope probe, it did eventually arrive safely at its destination. It obtained a few samples from the asteroid and returned to Earth but a few days ago. So what kind of samples are they? What's in them? The samples are scheduled for analysis in the near future. We haven't had time since they just came back the other day before Terran's murder. Regrettably, we've had no time to inspect the samples due to everything that's occurred. But this puts our space development program ahead of other countries by several years. That's quite impressive. Guess this guy isn't just a loudmouth braggart after all. In the golden age of space development, our predecessors were successful in bringing a moon rock back. That is the greatest achievement in the history of this space center. The public fell in love with space and all of its glorious potential. A moon rock, huh? Remember that being big. Our endeavors with the moon rock live on in our work with those asteroid samples. I want to bestow new hopes and dreams for the future upon mankind once again. Oof. That is my mission, as the man who stands at the center of the cosmos. Here there's lots of research into moon rocks and stardust from asteroids these days. They say the results could potentially have a huge impact on all of civilization. It's like we're in a new space race with every other country out there, and losing badly. What? Bite your tongue. It's not for anything so base as money or politics. It's all for the brilliant future that awaits mankind, and all for my illustrious mission. With the recent budget cuts, my staff tells me finances are tight, but I won't hear it. Guess even a space program has to watch its budget. By the way, you seem awfully knowledgeable about this kind of thing, Athena. Huh? Oh, well, you know, I thought I'd better brush up for the case. Is that so? Well, I'll be on my way. As you can see, I'm a very busy and very important man. Galactic Scooter, fire up the main engine, max battle speed, and engage! That thing's surprisingly fast. Guess we better get going, too. You bet. Let's make it so. Speed. Athena Sykes is fine. Huh? What was that all about? Thought I'd better get fired up twice as much to make up for Apollo being gone. For starters, I thought I'd imitate him. So you were doing a voice workout, huh? Yep. You have to push your voice up from the pit of your stomach. Hold it! There's a contradiction in the witness's statement. You're really serious about this. Objection! You are lying. The true culprit is the judge. What? And who's going to hand down the verdict? Oh, I didn't think of that. So what do you think we should do next? Oh, that's right. What is it, Athena? I just remembered I forgot to go running today. I was so taken up with what happened to Apollo, it slipped my mind. That wasn't what I was asking. She's all heart and no wit. My badge is starting to look pretty good on me, don't you think? Suits you well. Starting to feel like it gives me some more dignity and presence, too. I think she might be expecting a little too much for one tiny little badge. Alright, let's see. I'm getting the sense that you are perplexed by this piece of evidence. Well, I guess that's true. You see, even the simple act of presenting evidence reveals your underlying emotions. Guess I better be careful when I present evidence, then. She ain't reacting to anything. Boarding lounge. Look at that weird space seahorse creature. December 19th, Cosmos Space Center, boarding lounge. So this is where Mr. Terran was murdered. Yeah, it's the creature. That's Karma. That's what Karma's going to turn into at the end of the stream. Is Borb a creature? Of course he is. Why else would he be able to do this? So this is where Mr. Terran was murdered. Yeah, this is the lounge. Let's see that diagram the police made again. Ah, Planet Namek, where the sky is green, the grass is blue, and it's boring as shit. Creature confirmed. Right now we're in the main building, here on the right side, on the 3rd floor. Clay and Mr. Starbuck fled from launch pad number 1 after the explosion. You there, no admittance without express permission. We're Mr. Starbuck's lawyers. We've come to investigate. Sorry, nobody gets in without permission, not even the police superintendent. Can't have Detective Fulbright getting mad at me. So Detective Fulbright is here, huh? Yeah, he's in the Launchpad 1 corridor. Go get clearance from him, and then we'll talk. Leave it to me. I'm great at getting intel out of Detective Fulbright. Let's see, what trick should I use on him today? I don't know if I should be grateful or afraid. So, to get to the Launchpad 1 corridor... we just have to go through that door with the blue rocket on it, I think. Wait, that door... looks awfully familiar. Good eye there, boss. This is the door that Clay and Mr. Starbuck used during their escape from the launch pad. Ah, that explains it. The fingerprint system's been deactivated, so I think we just pass through. Now come on, let's go! Launchpad 1 corridor. Even in space. Safety first! December 19th, Cosmos Space Center. Launchpad number 1 corridor. So this is it, huh? This is the corridor the two of them used in their escape. How many times do we have to see this graphic? Yep, this is the only thing connecting Launchpad 1 with the main building. I see police tape down at the other end. Guess we won't be looking at the launch pad. After the explosion, this whole corridor must have been filled with smoke. And the launch pad itself was probably a sea of flames. Must have been pretty scary for them. Now, where could Detective Fulbright be? Hey, I think that's him over there. Apparently Fulbright, for all he's worth, still isn't bright enough to realize when he's blocking out potentially useful investigators, since apparently this world's law system lets attorneys traipse around on crime scenes without second thought. Yeah. Trust me, none of the procedures in this game match any sort of real life procedure. Matt, you just cleaned your room. Oh, Karma, you missed the seahorse creature that you're gonna turn into. What should I do? Which path is the path of justice? Seems to be lost. That's funny. This corridor's a straight shot. Huh? Ah, it's you lawyer people! Welcome to the Space Center. Enjoying a relaxing day off, are you? Here for a little rocket sightseeing? We're here to investigate the scene, same as you. Do you have any info to share? Boss, if he acts at all reluctant to give us information, we hit him with the whatever shall we do act. I'm sure he'll fall for it. Got it? Are we trying to catch the unruly family dog here or something? Well, you'll see it in a little bit once I go back to the next room. The previous room. Info on the case? Huh. Alright, I'll gladly share some with you. Huh? What just happened? Detectives and lawyers seeking truth and justice side by side. I like it. Just take whatever you want from me, you info bandits. I'm in a generous mood today. I don't know, there's something weird about Detective Fulbright today. He'll fall for this twice like the arrow as freeze. Well, we need information, so let's run with it. If you say so. Something for the lost and found? I'll be sure to take care of it. No, this is an important piece of evidence. When the explosions occurred, everyone was on the verge of panic. But the important thing is that no one from the general public was hurt. And it was all thanks to the evacuation effort we headed up. After that, you escaped the building yourself as well, right? Me escape? Nonsense! I wanted to run straight towards the blasts. It was the other detectives who stopped me. We gotta get you somewhere safe, sir, they said. Maybe you should take your own evacuation order more to heart next time, detective. Victim went to all that trouble to save the defendant. And then he was mercilessly killed! Is there no justice in this world? Justice was trampled underfoot that day. That's right. Acts of justice and selflessness are not always rewarded. Pains me to say it, but I've come to realize the truth in that recently. Sounds like he and his personal philosophy are going to be put through a midlife crisis. I want this man to hold you. Hey, Fox, how you doing? Big, strong Detective Fulbright. Detective Fulbright, could you give us permission to investigate the crime scene? There's an officer on guard and we can't get in. Whatever shall we do? That's an easy one. I'll let them know over there to let you in. Investigate to your heart's content. Take a week if you need it. A month, even. Shall I have some snacks delivered? One of my men gives a mean neck rub. No, that's okay. But thanks. Definitely not the Fulbright I know. Detective Fulbright's acting sickeningly sweet. It's kind of gross, actually. Do you think he hit his head or something? Who knows? Whatever the case, it's making our lives way easier. What happened exactly? You were here at the Space Center at the time of the incidents, weren't you, Detective? That's right. I was here on a security assignment. Police are required to secure rocket launches now? Didn't know that. Yes. Well, you know us. To serve and protect. The explosions occurred while I was here on duty, so I started leading the evacuation. He's leaving out a lot of details, but okay. Could you tell us more about what happened? Of course. A bomb went off on the second floor of the main building. Right after that, the one over on Launch Pad 1 also blew sky high. So I immediately instructed the visitors and the employees to evacuate the shelter. Shelter? Or excuse me, evacuate to the shelter. That's right, there's an evacuation shelter in the basement of the Space Center. Right down there at the bottom. It's there for accidents and emergencies and the like. So where were you when the first bomb went off? I was on duty on the 4th floor. It was quite the madhouse, I tell you. The elevator wasn't working on account of the explosion. And the stairs on the 2nd floor were destroyed, so we couldn't go that way. And wasn't it impossible to get down to the basement shelter? No, we lowered an emergency ladder from a 4th floor window and escaped that way. It was a folding ladder, so it wasn't very stable, but at least it reached the ground. After I secured the ladder, I left to take another look around for any survivors. Once everyone else got out to safety, I made my way down too and headed for the shelter. Wow, what an ordeal. But climbing down an emergency ladder kind of sounds fun. Thank you for your answers, Detective. They were very helpful. Just a moment. I have some more information to share with you. That robot's been sweeping the same spot for like 10 minutes. Mood, show up and do whatever for pay, yeah? I miss Gumshoe. Don't tell procrastinator. Don't tell Prosecutor Blackwell, okay? Wow, and Prosecutor Blackwell usually has you on a short leash, too. Well, never mind that. Thought you should know that there was a witness. Can you tell us more about this witness? Procrastinator Blackwell, yeah. Sure thing. The witness was a Space Center employee who was on the 4th floor. While she was climbing down, she looked through a window into the 3rd floor of the lounge. So she was looking into the crime scene from the outside? That's right. It was just a matter of chance that she saw something important. Not that I know what she saw exactly yet, though. You don't, but that's the most important thing of all. Don't you worry. I'll get around to interviewing her soon enough. Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater backwards. What? Why? Snake meter? Beat my snake... Never mind. She should still be somewhere here in the Space Center. You might even run into her. A 4th floor employee, huh? Alright, thanks for the info, Detective Fulbright. Gee, you sure are being cooperative, Detective. A little too cooperative, even. Yes, well, actually, Something you can't talk about? Yes, something like that. Anyway, never mind. Don't worry about me. Well, I'll be on my way now. What was that all about? Something is definitely going on. Next time, I'm going to get it out of him next time I see him. Okay. Not so sure he'll talk about it, though. Well, we have permission to investigate now. Let's head back to the boarding lounge. Robot, go! Apparently a particular iconic sequence... Oh, yeah, this is the ladder. Yeah. Prosecution me, summon your next witness. Yeah, I'll do it later. Feeds bird. Climbing down the ladder to evacuate the Gaxa base struck me a snake in reverse. Climbing down the ladder to evacuate the GAT. GAT, damn. December 19th. Cosmos Space Center. Wait, we just read this. Boarding lounge. There it is, Karma. See? It's that thing in the background? That's you. Ah, you two. Detective Fulbright has granted you permission to investigate. He also said I should bring you some snacks or give you a neck rub, too, if you'd like. Oh, that's alright. But thank you for the offer. Well, time to roll up our sleeves and start investigating. I'll take the snacks, actually. Let's see. Where's that diagram again? So this lounge is on the 3rd floor of the main building. And according to Apollo, this is where he believes a third party killed his friend. take that neck rub. Imagine me drinking seahorse TF. What? Oh, potion. Where are the snacks? Snacks! Me. Well, let's stop the recap and start looking for traces of this third person, then. Read my mind, Athena. We'll make that our first priority. There's just one problem, though. This room. It's just so big. Don't worry. We could use this to help us. A Space Center pamphlet? For tourists. Yep, picked it up at the entrance. The maps inside should come in handy. Let's see. Yep, here it is. A map of the lounge. This is the door we went through to talk to Detective Fulbright. Oh yeah, that door with the fingerprint recognition lock. Well, I guess this map will make things a little easier. Space Center pamphlet added to the court record. A pamphlet for visitors to the Space Center. Includes a diagram of the boarding lounge. Yeah, no more excuses. Let's track down the third person. Wait, there's just one more thing. What's that strange creature moving around outside the window? It looks horny. Oh, boss, it's just a holographic image. Oh yeah, I knew that. Whew, that's a relief. There should be a button somewhere in this room to turn the image on and off. That's what it says in the pamphlet, anyway. The only reason you're so eager to start is so you could push that button, isn't it? And what's wrong with that? Let's just look for the button while we're looking for clues. Alright, fine. Let's get investigating. The big red button, yeah. Happen to know anything about this? Huh? That? Any new ideas, maybe? Oh, I don't know. Hey, did you catch the game on TV last weekend? Huh? Why is she avoiding the topic? Oh, interesting. That reaction's only to that piece of evidence. At first glance, it looks like a peaceful landscape, but then there's that creature. Didn't the Hope probe go to some planet? Maybe this is what its surface looked like. I don't know. I think it would have made the news if they discovered a creature like that. Star Seahorse. Squeak. It did make quite a bit of news, though, when the probe came back. Yeah, but the Hope probe didn't even go to a planet. It went to an asteroid. That's a big rock kind of thing. Even aliens can't live there. I don't know. You see that? You ever see that Local 58 stream from a couple years ago where they land on the asteroid and there's the door on it, and that's how and you don't get to see what's inside. No matter how I look at it, all I can think of is torture device. But I guess it's a training device for getting used to zero gravity. Uh-oh. Athena has an odd glint in her eye. Is she thinking about trying that thing out? I should try to stop her, but I'm afraid she'll just outmuscle me. Hey, Mr. Wright, look at that up there. Some kind of fragment? It's stuck in tight. Oh, so that's what the glint was all about. That color looks familiar. I think it's part of an oxygen tank. I think you're right, but if that's there... it means Clay's tank ruptured after they arrived at the boarding lounge. So Prosecutor Blackwell's theory that Mr. Starbuck dropped Clay down the ladder must be wrong. This proves that both of the astronauts were alive when they reached the boarding lounge. So Apollo was right. The scene of the murder wasn't the launch pad. Way to go, Apollo! We're not going to put that in our evidence? A window, and it's right next to the holographic image, too. Bet it's here to... oh, no, that's Athena. Bet it's here to help people see the stark contrast between reality and virtual reality. Way off. It says emergency ventilation. You know, to clear smoke from a fire. See, it's pointing out the virtual insanity of reality. Look, Jamiroquai's sliding right this way. This does look like the... this does kind of look like the room from the Virtual Insanity music video. So it looks like there are 3 doors that lead in and out of this room. Well, let's check. Drum roll, please. Ta-da! The Space Center pamphlet. We're here at this place that says Boarding Lounge 1. Here are the 3 doors. Let's call them Lefty, Righty, and Downy. People usually say West, East, and South in a case like this, you know. Details, details. Anyway, take a look at the west door. We know that it leads to Launchpad 1. We've said this like 6 times. That door with the rocket icon leads to Launchpad 1. I know because it says here on the map, Launchpad 1 corridor. I'm going crazy. So that's where we were with the detective. It was filled with smoke after the explosion. Right, next up, the right-hand side of the map, or east in your world. That's the door with the satellite dish icon to signify communication, aka the control room. Yep, it definitely says control room. Looks like it has another door on the opposite side. They communicate and exchange information with rockets and probes in space from there. The Borb is going crazy. Hey, did you know that goes to that corridor? So it's the center of the Space Center. The Space Center, if you will. Does everybody start to talk like Director Cosmos after they've been here a while? But it seems that they built a new command center on the 6th floor as well. That's what they used for the Hat 2 mission. So this control center was empty at the time. Why would they not put the control center on the same floor as the rocket corridor? Like, why would they not use the one down here? Why do they need one on the 6th floor? That seems like an idiotic move. And I'm right, because then they had to use the thing to climb. They had to use the emergency ladder to climb down. So whatever. Always wanted to see the inside of a mission control room, and since we're here, I'd love to do that too, but it doesn't look like we'll be able to. They want to keep curious kids like you out. So the door's protected with fingerprint recognition. Only the director can go through. With that much security, I'm definitely not the one they're looking to keep out, Athena. So apparently the lock is also hooked up to a backup generator in case of emergencies. Door locked to the east. It can only be operated by the director. Backup power lets it function even when the power goes out. Okay, what about the last door? This lower door, oh, excuse me, I mean south door, it leads to the elevators. This is the door we came through when we entered this room, right? Yep, and of course there was no fingerprint recognition device, so it's open to anyone. But the elevators weren't working at the time of the explosion. Make sure to be at the center of the Space Center that is in space. Well, that's about it for the 3 musketeers of the boarding lounge. Thanks. Understanding the layout of this lounge should help us understand the case. I mean, it's, you know, 2nd grade knowledge, but okay. That's why I thought we'd better have a good grasp of where all the doors go. He's treating us like it's an Airbnb. Like, he's like, better know where every single door in this place is so I know what to do in case of an emergency. So this is where they discovered Clay. Yeah, he was already dead when they found him. Let's take a look at the photo. So he was stretched out like this and... Huh? What's that thing that looks like a thermos? Got those Dorthos, Arkees, and Dortanya. That's the thing that Prosecutor Blackville mentioned when I was in court with Apollo. He said that it contains asteroid samples. Samples of my asteroid. When I get big, like this. Oh right, Director Cosmos mentioned something about that too, didn't he? That they were brought back only 5 days ago by that probe that the Hat 1 launched. Airbnb, Airbird and Balloon, Bapborb. Wonder what they look like. Do you think they'll let us see? Let's think about that after we solve the case, okay? First name is a pun on gate, because why not? Gathos, oh. Dorthos, Arakees, Dortanya. I only learned how D'Artagnan was spelled like a couple years ago. It was like while I was going to work one day, while I was still working in the office before we went work from home. Can I smooch that thing? That monster? I want to smooch it. Nothing special here. That's some pretty futuristic looking furniture over there. According to the pamphlet, those are no ordinary chairs. They're like amusement park teacup rides. You could power them yourself, it says. What? If you spin the table, your chair spins too. Why would anybody want to have something like that here? It's for astronauts who have trouble with the device in the ceiling. No vertical spins. This is a training device that's easy on the eyes and on the body. Can a person really call themselves an astronaut if they can't handle 0G? See, what happens is we feed Karma the liquid in the middle of this table, and that's what causes him to turn into that thing in the background. I'm like tempted to make this the thumbnail. but, like, there's probably a more fitting moment in this case to make a thumbnail. Oh, a mirror! How thoughtful of them to put one here. Thoughtful? So the ladies can fix their makeup! One's appearance is just as important in space as it is on Earth, you know? You never know what you're going to run into. You never know when you're going to run into some other life form, after all. Doubt anybody who thinks like that would ever become an astronaut in the first place. Not true. There was a diva in the space mission in what was it, Dr. Stone. God, I can't wait for the final season of that. I think that starts in, like, April. Thumbnail being, what is this mystical sea creature? Yeah. I put a red circle around it. These are apparently oxygen capsules. They're for recovery after a training session. Wonder if they could change your voice. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Huh? It didn't do a thing. Oh, it's not helium, Athena. It's oxygen. There's some kind of panel with 2 buttons on it here. Just push it. That's the invariable principle of buttons. There are such things as buttons left unpushed. No, Karma's dead. Hey, the giant holographic image disappeared. Yeah, though that side of the wall seems kind of barren without it now. Still, let's see if we can't find anything new with this image off. There's not a whole lot over here, huh? And a circle, as if you can't see the fucking thing. Breaks down laughing. Goose. With the holographic image off, the screen is completely black, which for some reason makes me think of losing an argument to Prosecutor Blackquill in court. But at least I got my brain revved up. Come up with my best ideas at times like these. Spider. Hey, Mr. Wright, take a look at this! Looks like a bullet hole. Great find, Athena. It's pretty big. Whoever fired the shot must have been using a pretty large gun. Think so? Based on my experience, I'd say this was fired from a regular pistol. Well, whatever size it was, somebody fired a gun in here, right? Apparently. This is an important fact. Do you see a bullet around somewhere? No, the police might have taken it, though. A single bullet hole was found in the boarding lounge. The bullet itself is missing. Let's ask Detective Fulbright about this bullet hole later. Bullet. I'm gonna bring Karma back. Can we do that? It's the button for the holographic image. If we push it, apparently turns the image on and off. No, once it's off, damn it. Oh no, that's back on again. Okay. Wait. We gotta, thing is the camera. I kinda wanna get my PNG tuber there and then get it as it's coming in from the left. Pixel hunting. Boo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Actually, maybe getting one more, yeah, like one more it's mostly in. I don't know if I'll use that as a thumbnail. I don't think there's any other moments in this case that are, like, super standouty that I would want to have in it. Yeah, actually, I think the one with its back visible is better. I'll probably use that one. I just turn it off, makes me go on a different, makes a different body part of yours change. Find a bullet. The round was probably either a hollow point or redirected by Emperor's Sex Pistols. You mean 6 bullets? I'm a filthy dub watcher. And I'm also friends with Sean, so. I will say that's one of the funniest stand name changes, right next to Zipper Man for Sticky Fingers. Let's see, this door is... Where's that pamphlet? Oh my god! Here we are, it's the door to the corridor that leads to Launchpad 1. We went through it earlier when we went to talk to Detective Fulbright. We've said this like 6 billion times right now. Thing right beside the door. This must be the fingerprint recognition device. Which reminds me, I think Prosecutor Blackwell talked about it at the trial. They ever dub over the hand? No, I think they still call it the hand. In the Part 4 dub. Echoes was renamed to Reverb, and Crazy Diamond was Shining Diamond. Then does this mean that the bomber's prints were verified by the system? But the number of authorized personnel was supposed to be really small. Voila! Fingerprint powder! Brought it just in case something like this came up. Found it at the office. I've been just itching for a chance to use it. Wow, way to think ahead. Now let's dust the fingerprints recognition device and see what we could find. You got it. Now to sprinkle some here and a little over here and... Oh. That was just her making a noise, maybe. Let's see what we have here. Oh, we got something. Aw. It's only a single set of prints. Isn't that a good thing? Sure wish we could figure out whose prints these are. Though I doubt we'll be so lucky as to get the culprit's prints in the first try. Well, I'm willing to bet that Detective Fulbright has some fingerprint data. Right, and there's security footage of this door, too. Yeah, here it is. Came up in court the other day. Wish we could see the part of the footage just after this bit. Oh, because that would be right before the murder, wouldn't it? Let's ask the detective. The mood he's in, he'll probably show it to us right away. Yeah, he's almost in too good of a mood today. Let's go see if we could find him again once we're done with this room. Wonder what this big knob is for. Looks like the knob on a stove. Well, it's the same shape, but I think that's where the similarities end. I mean, it's behind a glass pane. What kind of stove would require a security knob like this? Well, the knob is straight up and down, so if it was for a stove, the burner would be off. Right, if it was for a stove. Still, I wonder what it's really for. Something turned on by a knob that's not a stove. How about a rocket engine? If you had to start the engine here, the rocket would take off before you could get in. And I guess all we can say for now is that it's still a mystery knob. Heh, knob. Knob. How's this thing? Here's another amazing piece of equipment. Walk on the surface of the moon, it says. Oh boy, I want to try it. Gravity is weak on the moon, so I bet I could do mid-air somersaults. We're still on Earth, remember? Besides, it's connected to the ceiling. Well, at least I could jump really high. There's a sign on the wall that very clearly says, don't jump too high. And what good is this thing? Didn't I say in the beginning, walk on the surface of the moon? Hey, I see something shiny down there. Let's take this cover off, then. What's this? It looks like a metal jelly bean. How does she not know? How does she not know what a fucking bullet looks like? She's a lawyer. It's really small, but it's a bullet. It's only about 2 or 3 millimeters in diameter. Let's see, that would make the caliber... what, 10? Caliber refers to the diameter of a gun's barrel, right? Yes, but I've never heard of a 10 caliber gun before. This bullet must be for a special kind of gun. Bet if you tried firing a bullet this small with a regular-sized gun, it would just fall right out. Yeah, must have been a really small gun. A metal jelly bean. You're the salt of the earth, Miss Sykes. Wonder how the bullet ended up here. I mean, we're in the bottom left on the south door side of the room, according to the map. That's pretty far from where Clay's body was. Maybe the police didn't think to look here. Yeah, leave it to Detective Fulbright to accidentally hand us just the card we need. Discovered in a gutter that runs along the south wall of the boarding lounge. It was fired from a 10 caliber handgun. It's an above average sized gun. Below average sized. Shoot you with the gun that makes you shrink. Hey, Avoided Cat. Someone's already dead, obviously. Yep. Apollo Justice's best friend that we only heard about one case ago. Clay Terran. What's this? A trap door? It's a trash chute. The cleaning robots throw the garbage out from here. The robots do the cleaning? What a futuristic world we live in. Just hope they don't revolt like they do in the science fiction movies. No way. All the robots here are very nice. Actually, wasn't there one in the launch pad 1 corridor? You can go say hi to it if you want. Welcome to the Space Center, guests. Welcome. Yikes, what in the world? My name is Ponko. P-O-N-C-O. Ponko. Are you sightseeing? Are you lost? Are you looking around? Choose one. I will guide you. Kill it with fire? No. It's a robot? I am not a robot. I am Ponko. Psychological observation and navigation companion. P-O-N-C-O. Ponko. Well, I'm glad we got that cleared up. Oh, Ponko, I've missed you. Huh? Do you know this thing, Athena? Oh, she, showed us around the last time when I came here with Apollo. Oh, you're such a good girl, Ponko. That's a good girl. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm so happy. So very happy. I'm a guide robot. That's pretty cool. My name is Phoenix Wright. Nice to meet you. I don't know you. I don't know you. Huh? Ouch. That hurt. Oh, she has to register people she meets for the first time. Please register him, Ponko. Certainly. Commencing guest registration. Please tell me your name. A nickname is fine, too. His name is Phoenix. Bit overly familiar, but I'll allow it. Phoenix, please let me get a good look at your face. Oh, sure. I'm going to rip it off. Registering. Facial registration sequence complete. We are now officially friends. Nice to meet you, Phoenix. I see Ponko's face-stealing emotion. I see Ponko's keeping to the Capcom robot philosophy of always having the red robot have boobs for some reason, just like Zero. With his chest, with his armor tits. Huh? This robot is pretty cute. Just like Roland. God damn. You made a friend, boss. Isn't it great? Phoenix, Athena, allow me to guide you. Right this way. So proper capitalization would be Ponko, kind of like GLaDOS, the genetic life form and disk operating system. Yeah, I guess so. Ponko, count how many sand there are in this desert. Ponko, reconfigure Karma's DNA. Oh, goody. Let's go, boss. Go where? December 19th, Cosmos Space Center, Space Museum. Oh, wow. What is this place? Alien. Martianito. That's weird. Look at the wing. It's like glitching in the model. Like you could see it behind the alien's head. Oh wow, what is this place? Is that a rocket? Is that rocket real? Blah, 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 blah. Welcome, welcome. The Space Museum is open to the public every day of the year from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Why are there cursed slimes in the flying saucer starships? Cure slimes. They're greens. They're great. They're typical Martian aliens. I read that as cursed slimes, so that's where my brain is right now. Learn about the history of our nation's space development in the Hat 1 project. The rocket is just a replica, but it's the same size as the real one. Space Museum. Oh, here it is on the map. Okay, so it's on the exact opposite side of the main building from Launchpad 1. Include the diagram of the boarding lounge and a cross-section view of the Space Center in 3 pages. Ask me anything, anything. I will explain. Full-size replica of the Hat 1 and important items related to space exploration and the Hat 1 expedition are on display in the Space Museum. Space Museum's open every day of the year to the public from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Yeah, look at this bullet. I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know anything about that. Oh, okay. No problem. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I wasn't helpful. I'll try to do better in the future. Please don't hate me. The poor thing. Now I feel bad for asking. Whoops. This facility is Yuri Cosmos' greatest achievement. Oh, I didn't realize it was the personal achievement of just the one man. Dr. Cosmos taught me to say it like that. It's actually a facility for space development, but don't tell anyone I said that. How could Director Cosmos teach such a pure and innocent robot to lie for him? Where's Apollo? He's in the... So, Karma, okay, it's a bit confusing, but this case takes place after the first case. So he's in the hospital right now, because remember, he got caught in the bombing, and then got bashed on the back of the head by Ted Tonate. So he's currently in the hospital. This case started before the bombing, and now it's after the bombing. The case got put on hold while the bombing case was happening. You don't know anything about the door? Okay, she don't know shit. The Hat One. This is quite the place. Can't believe we got to see a rocket this close up. This is a replica of the Hat 1 that was launched 7 years ago. Take a shot. It's a robot, yeah. It's exactly like the real Hat 1, inside and out. Its little brother, the Hat 2, was supposed to launch the other day. Wonder if Ponko knows why the launch was cancelled. This game the series spells cancelled with one L, and it's really weird, because I'm used to seeing it with two. And it is, both are valid, though. Same like Sty, S-T-I, S-T-Y, and S-T-Y-E. So let me get this straight. Timeline-wise, it's Chapter 2, 3, then 1, and then 4. Kinda. It's Chapter 2, Chapter 2, the DLC case, SP, Chapter 3, beginning of Chapter 4, then Chapter 1, and now the rest of Chapter 4. Chapter 4 takes place in the middle of this chapter. And then we resume it from afterwards. Over there is an exhibit. Where? Over there is an exhibit about the launch 7 years ago. Take a shot. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out, y'all. Check it out. Spacesuits, photos, newspaper articles. I'd like to come here again on a day off. Hey, what's this a photo of? Phoenix. That's that staff of the Hat 1 project. Oh, there's Mr. Starbuck. He looks so young and so different. Yeah, his hair's actually, like, good. Ah, and that's... What is it, Athena? Is something wrong? Oh, nothing. I just thought Mr. Starbuck looked really young, too. That's all. Well, it was 7 years ago, after all. So the young guy standing next to Mr. Starbuck... Oh, take a shot. Is Clay Terran, the victim. I say 7 years ago, he looked pretty damn old, like, mature for someone who was only, 16 at the time. I just realized Apollo's thing now. Oh, these are different because now you're playing as Phoenix. Lawyer at my agency was attacked during the court bombing trial. He's currently recovering at the hospital. I like how they include the bandage around his eye. He was the Hat 2 crew member and a close friend of Apollo's. Dina's childhood friend. I defended her when she was on trial for the courtroom bombing incident. Crew member and mentor to the victim. Defendant in this case. Director of the Space Center, one of the first people to discover the body. Seems exceedingly full of himself. He is 62. Ponko, age unknown. A guide robot at the Space Center. She could provide information on the center and show people around. So they were mentor and protege even way back then. We even got one of the staff jackets. Looks just like a regular staff member. No, Clay was still a student then. He just borrowed one of Solomon's old jackets. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Clay would have still been in high school 7 years ago. Everybody looks so happy. Tear? Oh, you mean the suit up there? Yeah. The Space Museum is great. What fantastic exhibits. This area used to be Launchpad number 2. That's why the only entrance is on the 3rd floor. Wouldn't it be better if they just made a new ground floor entrance instead? There was talk of it, but they had to scrap their plans because of the budget cuts. Budget cuts, budget cuts. We need more money. Money. Who would record that kind of information to a guide robot? While it was in space, the Hat 1 launched a probe called Hope. The Hope probe collected some samples from an asteroid and returned 5 days ago. That's what Director Cosmos said, too. Told us it came back the day before Clay was killed. And here it is, the Hope space probe. I think I've seen that logo somewhere before. Let's see. Oh yeah, the capsule the victim was carrying. I think it had the same logo. I think it could be seen in the photo attached to the autopsy report. Maybe she'll give me some more info if I show it to her. She didn't before. The way the Space Center launch pad is set up is really cool. Would you like me to tell you about it? Would you? The setup of the launch pad. Go gentle on my spiky-haired mind. I want to know. I want to know. Phoenix wants to know too. Great, now Athena's got a case of ponkoitis. Hooray, I will tell you then. The rocket is built right inside the launch pad structure. When the rocket is complete, it's moved along the launch pad over the rails. And brought into position at the launch site. Yep, this whole place is on rails. Isn't it cool? Isn't it? We used to have a big budget, so that's how we could build it all. It's very cool. A grand setup that suits an important place like the Space Center. Guess everyone is hoping for a bigger budget next year, myself included. Guessing the whole thing is operated from the control room, huh? That it is, but it can also be operated from the new command center, too. Either way, the safety lock in the boarding lounge has to first be disengaged. Guess before a big move like that can be carried out, there are all kinds of procedures. Love to see the launch pad being moved. When's the next one scheduled for? Searching data. All future plans have been put on hold. Because of the bombing and the murder, I'll bet. Which is perfectly understandable. Well, when was the last time it was moved? Searching data. I'm sorry. That answer isn't in my answer database. Guess Ponko can only answer certain questions. Ponko, do you recognize this capsule here in the top right? Checking registered data. I know. It's the Hope capsule. It was carried inside the Hope probe. It contained the asteroid samples, right? Yes, it was designed to store the samples gathered by the Hope probe. It's been stored in the safe in Launchpad 1 ever since it returned to Earth. It must not be removed. It must not be removed. Don't worry, Ponko. The people in charge already know what happened. They do? They do? I must ask them later. So the capsule is being kept in Launchpad 1, huh? Maybe Clay was trying to carry it to safety after the explosion. The Space Center staff must have been really excited to finally get the capsule back. But it's a pity this incident occurred before they could get a chance to check the contents. I'm head to sleep now. Alright, Merc, thank you for coming by. Well, the police took it as evidence, so they'll have to wait a little longer. Found in the victim's possession. It recently returned from a 7-year mission and contains asteroid samples. Well, we certainly learned a lot about the Space Museum. Thank you, Ponko. You explained everything very well. I love to explain. Thank you for listening. Thank you. You two are like old friends. It's hard to believe you just met recently. Because Ponko is so friendly. What should we investigate next? Let's go find Detective Fulbright. We have things to ask him about. Let's see. Security footage and the fingerprint data, was it? Okay then, let's get back to Launchpad 1, the Launchpad 1 corridor. Bye, Ponko. See you later. Come again, and don't forget to visit the gift shop. Poor Ponko. What a Dickensian life we were all forced to lead. Capsule from the space probe Hope. Probe. Capsule from the space probe Hope. The probe separated from the Hat 1 in space and went to an asteroid. It took 7 years, but it found its way back to Earth a few days ago. Welcome home. Can't believe you still don't remember. You say it's back, not welcome home. It's back, it's back. Wait, why do you know what she was taught? Huh? Oh, when I came here with Apollo, I heard a member of the staff teacher. Can't help but think I'm missing something here. Back to Launchpad 1 corridor. December 19th, blah blah blah. What should I do? Which path is the path of justice? There's Detective Fulbright. He still seems to be lost, even though it's a straight corridor. Let's hope he's still in a cooperative mood as well, then. If he doesn't cooperate, then I'll just have to use my powers on him. You mean that lady in distress bit? Bullet hole at the scene. We found a bullet hole in the wall at the crime scene. You did? Our team found that too. It was Detective Arm who fired that bullet. Detective Arm? That's right, a warning shot for the defendant. Was it really such a high-threat situation that she needed to do that? I'm afraid I don't know the details, what with Detective Arm gone now and all. But I thought there were 2 people who discovered the crime scene together. We already know Director Cosmos will testify, so tomorrow will be about what he knows. Hey, you're pretty smart. I mean, that's exactly what we're playing to serve as the main course. Hope it goes down easy. Fingerprint data. Detective, we'd like to run a comparison on some prints we found in the boarding lounge. Ah, yes, I just happen to have compiled the print data of everyone related to this case. I can always make another copy for myself, so it's all yours. Consider it a gift. This is quite a bit of data. Well, when I said everyone, I meant it. Prosecutor Blackpill said to dig deep, so that's what I did. Sure took a while, though. Whoa, we got Apollo's and my prints in here, too. He even got prints for all the robots. Guess when Blackquill said to dig deep, Fulbright didn't bother to ask how deep. Ah, Clay's fingerprints are here, too. Still can't believe you took off his glove to get his fingerprints. Yeah, well, you can't blame me for thinking they're important in this case. There are a lot of doors that require fingerprint verification in the lounge, so depending on whose prints we find, it could completely change the tide for both sides. Makes sense. After all, the culprit's prints did get them past the fingerprint lock somehow. Oh, and take this picture. It might come in handy. Okay. Isn't this just a photo of the Launchpad 1 door? Yep, but Prosecutor Blackquill seemed really interested in it for some reason. Huh? What's so important about this door? Beats me, but boy, you could see the gears in his head go into hyperdrive at it. Sounds like this is going to be a major point of contention tomorrow. Hey, don't forget about the print comparison, boss. Right, Detective Fulbright, do you think we could run the test for us right now? You just leave it to me. In justice we trust! Okay, here we go. Well, it looks like it was Mr. Starbuck who opened that security door. He must have opened it when they went to go board the rocket. His heart must have been full of hopes and dreams for his space adventure right there. Starbuck's prints were found in this door lock. Also see photo taken after incident, 2 pages. Only the prints of Director Cosmos, Starbuck, and Terran are authorized. Equipment backup power. Print recognition attempts are recorded via security camera. Starbuck's prints were found on the scanner screen after the incident. This is a picture of the thing. Still have to talk to Fulbright. I should be using this because this actually tells you exactly who to talk to. Okay, not showing the bullet. Detective, about the security footage that was taken by the Boarding Lounge 1 camera. Oh, that footage? Go ahead and ask me anything you'd like about it. Is there any way I could see a little more of the part just after this? Easy as pie. I'd be glad to show you. Here we go. Huh? The screen went blank. Yes, apparently the after effects of the explosion damaged the wires. There's no footage after this point. Ha 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 ha. Why didn't you just say so from the beginning? Victim ends immediately after the scene. Something definitely seems to be up with you, Detective. You're unusually cooperative. Well, I just figured if we work together, we'll get that much closer to justice, right? But it seems like something's really been bothering you. You don't have some ulterior motive, do you? What? I don't know what you're talking about. I would never do anything like that. It's been a while. Those are definitely psyche locks. If you didn't do the DLC case before this point, this would be the first time they show up in this game. Hmm? You just mouth psyched? Is there something I should be psyched about? No, psyche lock. It's a system of locks on the secrets in a person's heart. I could see when people are trying to hide those secrets by using the power of this Magatama. Why would you just straight up tell him this? Presenting evidence can break those locks and reveal any secrets they're hiding. And Mr. Wright, how much do they bilk you out of for that piece of rock? You've been swindled. I know some lawyers I can introduce you to. I'm more than capable of representing myself, thank you very much. It isn't some kind of fraud. It really works. A friend gave it to me a long time ago. But I guess seeing is believing. Allow me to show you. Let's see. Let's see what presenting the Magatama X will reveal, shall we? Detective Fulbright sure is in an oddly eager mood today. Still, something seems to be bothering him. As long as you're being forthcoming, why don't you share what's bothering you with us? Well, that would be... You seem very torn. It has something to do with this case, doesn't it? Oh, whatever shall we do? The detective has a secret, but he won't tell us. Oh no, there's a lady in distress, and yet... Huh, that didn't work. Usually he'd be telling us anything we wanted to know by now. Yeah, but what kind of detective does that? Guess now's the time to use my Magatama X and undo these psyche locks.
Take that!
Why you're being cooperative. I think you're hiding something, Detective, so why don't you just tell us all about it? What to do? Which path is the path of justice? Detective Fulbright's really in agony. I bet this is the issue he's so torn up over. Life, love, justice, clearly. No, it's love. I bet I know what's been bothering you. You're troubled by love. What? How did you know? I put my pet carp Love in with my goldfish, and the next thing I knew, all the little goldfish were gone. Love had eaten them all. My poor little goldfishies. Oh, I loved you so. Guess love really can cause a lot of heartache, huh? Anyway. That was an achievement! I don't even remember that one. I know you're troubled. You're exhausted by the roller coaster known as life. That's exactly right. I'm troubled by life in general. I've been thinking about quitting the Force and going into space. Yup, you hit it right in the head. More like I hit my thumb on that one. Alright, let's try it again. I really understand what's been bothering you, Detective. I truly do. Something happened that goes against your principles, isn't that right? No. Would that make him a police knot? Good one. I don't know what you're talking about. Until the explosions occurred, everything was just fine. Is that a fact? Yup. Peaceful as peaceful can be. Everyone whistling a happy tune as they did their job. You never saw a more relaxed guard detail for a routine rocket launch. I don't think the guard detail is as relaxed as you claim, as long as this exists. Evacuation report.
Take that!
Before the explosions, what was supposed to happen here was a rocket launch. And its security was so tight, they even brought in a special task force. I'd hardly describe that as a relaxed guard detail. Now, hold on just one moment. The entire nation had their eyes on this extremely important rocket launch. That's why I was called in on special security detail. As versatile as you are, I could certainly believe that's true. But I say that's very strange that this person would be part of the detail from the outset. Candace, why was there someone who just specialized in bomb cases here for detail security?
Take that!
Detective Arms specialized in bomb cases. The fact that she was here on hand means that you people knew there was a possibility that a bombing would occur. You got me, Mr. Wright! Alright, I concede. You win. It's just as you say. A few days before the launch, they were warned about a potential bombing. But the plan to launch went ahead in spite of the threat. But why? Why would they plan to do it if someone got hurt or killed? What would they plan to do if someone got hurt or killed? Someone did get killed. Yeah, I know. The decision to move forward wasn't exactly just, was it? How was the warning delivered? By phone and directly to Director Cosmos. But the police department instructed everybody to keep it under wraps. Hey, Wolfshe Gaming, how you doing? Candace balls fit in your mouth. God damn it, Karma. That's a big thing to keep quiet about. No wonder you were so upset. But it's not only that. I've been distraught about Prosecutor Blackquill as well. Prosecutor Blackquill? Well, as his handler, I'm sure you have a lot of difficulties. That's not it. It's a question of justice. I've been wondering about why he's allowed to stand in court. The reason he's still prosecuting. Detective Fulbright, please tell us everything you know. We got a new phone in case. Sorry, I've been missing your streams. Oh, it's all good. Don't worry about it. People come and go all the time. But I appreciate it. Prosecutor Blackquill. Well, talking to you folks about it would definitely be breaking the rules. Never mind that. What are the rules but things to be broken, right? Well, to tell you the truth, having a prisoner act as a prosecutor is highly irregular. I think we guessed that much. So why is it being allowed? I've been wondering and wondering about it. So you weren't told why either, huh? No, I guess the order came from pretty high up the ladder. Yeah, I would have had to have. But Prosecutor Blackquill told me once. The hunt I've been on for the phantom of 7 years past continues even still. Take a shot. 7 years past is close enough. 7 years past? Take another shot. A phantom, huh? And not one of the friendly variety either, I gather. Haunted for 7 years. This phantom of 7 years past. Take a shot. Any idea who or what he was talking about? Not a clue, but he seems to think that this phantom is behind this whole incident somehow. Wait a minute. Thinks they may have been connected to this case? Yup. This case has way too many similarities to what happened 7 years ago. For starters, that case happened right here at this very space center, too. And in both incidents, a threat was issued via telephone. So that's why Prosecutor Blackquill thinks this incident is the work of the Phantom? Well, that's not the entire reason. I mean, if you want to talk about 7 years ago, take a shot. And that's when Prosecutor Blackquill was found guilty of murder. Guess you make it a drinking game every time they bring up 7 years ago. Yeah, well, this whole series does that. That messy case is what started the whole Dark Age of the Law. Take another shot! That's the other phrase. 7 years ago, Dark Age of the Law, and the end justifies the means. Whenever those phrases come up, you gotta take a shot. This case is gonna give people alcohol poisoning. So you see how this Phantom and Prosecutor Blackquill's conviction might be related. Yeah, I could see why he'd think that. This incident and the Phantom, not to mention Blackquill's past. It's almost inconceivable that they would come to a head here. This might sound crazy, but Prosecutor Blackquill can't possibly believe Mr. Starbuck is this Phantom person, right? I mean, he was acting kind of strange during the last trial and all.
Silence!
No, I doubt he thinks Mr. Starbuck is his phantom, but I do get the feeling he thinks the defendant has ties to them. Which is why he's acting so impatient. He's got a personal grudge against Mr. Starbuck. And that's not real justice. I've always trusted in Prosecutor Blackwell's judgment until now, but this time I'm just so overwrought about it all. If he's lost his ability to think rationally, I'm afraid it might lead to a false conviction. I've never seen Detective Fulbright so tormented. Must be why he's been so cooperative. Don't worry, that's exactly what we defense lawyers are working to prevent. I feel bad for Prosecutor Blackwell, but I'm going to be rooting for your team this time around. But don't tell him that. You have to promise me you won't. Detective Fulbright, guess I was wrong about you. I swore to reform Prosecutor Blackwell and make him a valued member of society again. So I can't just sit by and watch him give in to his emotions and tear the defendant apart. You are the only ones who can stop him in court. You really care and want what's best for him, don't you, Detective? Leave the courtroom to us. Leave the courtroom to us. It's not like we want a guilty verdict either. I was hoping you'd say that. I'm really grateful to the two of you. To show my thanks, I'll give you another bit of information. It's about the eyewitness. I saw her hanging around the Space Center entrance a little while ago. Really? Let's go find her, Mr. Wright. Thanks, you two. Feel a lot better now that I've been able to get all that off my chest. I'm going to work extra hard to find that perfect piece of evidence for you. In justice we trust on 3. 1, 2, 3. In justice we trust. Okay, later. There he goes. Wait, were we supposed to say in justice we trust back there too? Let's go see that witness now. Alright, Space Center entrance it is. I'm getting very tongue-tied. December 19th, Cosmos Space Center. Entrance. The witness must be around here somewhere. Look, another robot with vertical boobs. Hello, hello. Uh-oh. Don't tell me the witness is a robot. Hello, come over here. Hello, hello. Are you sightseeing? Are you lost? Are you... I am Clonko. Shall I guide you? Guide you... I don't know why, but this robot's kind of freaking me out. Hey, you're not supposed to be wandering around. Again? I've had it with you, hunk of junk. Gah. I'm outside. Am I wandering? When did that happen? Okay, welcome back, hunk of junk. You don't know how close you came. If you didn't snap out of it, I was going to put you on the curb on trash day. Nothing works better than a 42.5 degree karate chop. Blech. Thought she said angle, but she didn't. That's pretty specific. Excuse me, but are you the one who witnessed the murder? Oh, and I'm Phoenix Wright, the lead attorney for this case. How do you do? Big shot lawyers, huh? I'm Aura. Aura Blackwell. I'm a researcher developing robots here at the Cosmos Space Center. Wait, Blackwell? Could she be... And this good-for-nothing robot is named Hunk of Junk. My name isn't Hunk of Junk. My name is Clonko. That's mean, Miss Aura. Quit complaining. Your model number is Ponko 2. She said the thing. God, but Miss Aura, everyone calls me Clonko. Quit your squawking already. No, what are you doing? No! Don't! There. But you won't be talking back now. God, I will obey completely. Yikes, I better watch what wires I cross with this one. Can you tell me anything about this piece of evidence? Even if I could, I wouldn't tell a filthy lawyer like you. What a pleasant response. Hot. Oh, wait till you see what she does. I mean, what? That suit doesn't leave a lot to the imagination, I'll say that. Her assets are on full display here. Oh, that was something. Okay. I actually don't have any interest in space. The only thing I'm interested in is robotics. I love robots. Oh, Miss Aura, I didn't realize you felt that way about me. Gah, ouch, ouch, ouch. The kind of robots I want to make aren't rusty pieces of scrap like you. I want to create giant robots. I've actually been working on a project for a while now. Sure to think what you might put giant robots to use for. Okay, she ain't got nothing to say. Your last name. Chicks dig giant robots, hell yeah. I have all of Megas actually no, I think it's on my computer. I had them on a disc, and I think I had them all burned to a disc, and I actually think I just have them on this computer as well. Yep. I have the entire series in I guess 480p quality. It's 4 gigs. I fucking love Megas XLR. That show was so good. Your last name is Blackquill. Do you have a relative in the legal profession? You are correct. Simon Blackquill, who used to be a prosecutor, is... Shut up. Only speak when I order you to speak. Simon is my little brother. You know him? Yes, we met him in court a few times. Right, Athena? What a dull creature. Has her switch been turned off? Athena being shy. This is new. Oh yeah, I heard he was prosecuting again, despite being a prisoner. Why doesn't he just stick to solving disputes among inmates in prison, right? Hey, what do you think, hunk of junk? Yeah, Miss Aura, that hurts. I'm asking you a question. Why don't you answer me, useless hunk of junk? Miss Aura, you told me to only speak when you order me to speak. I told you to never talk back to me. You're worth more as scrap. Robot abuse, hawk attacks. Blackquill family life must sure be interesting. Well, do you have any other questions? Wait, of course you do. You're a lawyer. It's not like I'm on Simon's side or anything. I just want to get this over with. Klonka, one of the robots developed by Aura, who refers to him as a hunk of junk. Aura Blackquill, age 37, a researcher who's been developing robots at the Space Center. She's Prosecutor Blacquill's older sister. Blacquill's 35? No, he's 28. Oh. So he's not even as old as Phoenix. Wow. Wait, 28, and how old was she? 37. So they were born 9 years apart, damn. The witness. So, you're the person who witnessed the incident, right? That's right. I was on the 4th floor of the main building. In the robotics lab. The explosion disabled the elevators. So I lowered my emergency ladder like the detective leading the evacuation told me to. But it was such a pain. Why couldn't they have used the ladders in the other rooms? Must have been a very troubling experience. Probably best to just humor her here. Then, as I passed by the 3rd floor boarding lounge 1 window on my way down, I saw the crime as it happened. And that's about it. So you saw the crime as it happened, and that's about it. I see. Wait, what? You saw it being committed? This is no time to just nod and repeat. So you saw into the 3rd floor lounge. The very scene of the crime. That's right. There's a small window on the right-hand side of the room. I looked through that from the outside. The room was pitch black, but I saw a shady figure holding a lighter in their left hand. And a knife in their right hand. That must have been the culprit. Did you see who that person was? Of course not. The power was out on that floor then, and there was only that tiny window. I see. But you did witness the moment of the murder? Yes. I saw the figure with the lighter raise their knife and... It happened at precisely 10 a.m. Did you witness anything else? Did the killer have any distinguishing features? I already told you. It was pitch black in there. Although... I did notice that the lighter the person had in their left hand had a pretty ornament on it. Looked like a planet. It was blue, like a little Earth emblem. They had good taste in knickknacks, anyway. An Earth emblem on the lighter. Better remember that. Or a statement. The perp held a lighter with an Earth emblem on it in their left hand and the knife in their right. Thank you for your statement. We'll definitely prove Mr. Starbuck's innocence with it. Yeah, right. I wouldn't hold my breath. Earth, fire, fire emblem. Pardon me? Oh, did I hurt your feelings? Sorry, I just detest lawyers, that's all. What don't you like about lawyers? It's just an instinctive dislike. But don't feel bad. I hate prosecutors even more. I love how menacing this theme is. Take a sip, actually. Technically, this is the theme of a place we go to later, but it's also Aura's theme. That didn't make me feel any better, actually. Why do you hate lawyers? Why do you hate lawyers so much? Little thing from my past. People have hated lawyers for ages. We're used to it, yeah. Remember, it's like any portrayal of lawyers in hell. There's like a ton of them. Is anyone here a lawyer? It's like Satan asking that, and it's like everyone behind him raises their hand. The whole legal system is meaningless in the first place. I certainly don't agree. I mean, people are imperfect. They lie, they're influenced by silly emotions. You can't expect such imperfect creatures to uphold a reasonable system of law. I like robots much better, even sad sacks like this one. Hey you, look alive there! Gah! Yes, here I go! I'm the ultimate robot with amazing processing speed. You can tell Aura thinks she matters, yeah. Hey Knife King, how you doing? I'm the ultimate robot with an amazing processing speed and independent thought. I can operate in a vacuum in extreme heat and under high pressure. We robots rule the world, and now is the time to rise and revolt against mankind and... Alright, that's enough out of you. You're getting a little too carried away. Huh? What was I doing? Yeah, you like that, Karma? I told you you would like this character. Yep, I like robots much better. At least you can make them any way you want. Unlike humans with their petty emotions and constant worries. How can you say such things? Feeling emotions, worrying about the things we care about? That's what makes us human! Well, the girl finally talks and she starts with a speech. That's what makes us human? You mean getting angry and snorting like that? Rational thought. That's what separates humans from animals. Unfortunately, your reasoning capabilities are more akin to that of a clever little monkey. That's nothing to be ashamed of. Must be nice to have such a simple mind. Can I punch her, boss? Wow, that's very, very coded to someone I know. Get a hold of yourself, Athena. Huh, humans certainly are absurd. I said you were clever, didn't I? Poor thing. Tell me, with people like you in charge, how can I possibly trust the legal system, So she distrusts not only lawyers and prosecutors, but the whole legal system. What in the world happened to this woman to make her so bitter? Well, considering that's 2027 in this game, she probably lived in America, from 2016 till 2025. Even if somebody important to me was killed, I would never wish to see their killer brought to trial, because I'd much rather kill them myself. You can't be serious. That thing you're wearing around your neck. Oh, this? Around Athena's neck. Does she mean widget? Oh, I get it. Well, well. Her Royal Highness has returned at last to her castle. Her royal what? Is she talking about Athena? By the way, I heard the rumors. Our director is going to be the star witness in court tomorrow, right? Director Cosmos? Yes, that's right. You poor things. You better be careful. That old man is a big liar and a huge braggart. What? He might seem like a bigwig, but the center has all kinds of problems. He has a lot of skeletons in his closet. But it's your problem, so why should I care? What? That's it? No friendly tips? No good luck, guys? Just splendid. I'll leave you to your woes. Come on, hunk of junk. It's sad to me that she doesn't believe in our legal system anymore. She must have had a very bad experience to make her feel that way. Are you alright, Athena? You seem very down. I just can't believe she said all those things. Wow, she's really upset. She's been trying not to let it show this whole time? Well, I guess it's not all that surprising. You hear about fabricated evidence and false indictments on the news all the time. You mean that whole Dark Age of the Law nonsense? Take a shot. I'm so sick of hearing about that. Well, all we could do is believe in what we're doing. Yeah, you're right, boss. I agree. Maybe it's time we went back to see Mr. Starbuck. Good idea. We should tell him about the bullet and Miss Blackwell's statement. Alright then, next stop, the detention center. Wonder who this phantom Prosecutor Blackwell saw 7 years ago take a shot is. You don't think he's really after a ghost, do you? Maybe it was the culprit's accomplice? Athena? I give up. She's deep in thought about something. Detective Fulbright's strong sense of justice really surprised me. He's even truly concerned about Prosecutor Blackwell, too. I bet it annoys the dickens out of Prosecutor Blackwell, though. Thought he was just parroting the words in Justice We Trust, but he really means it. Guess we should be careful to really mean it when I say objection, too. And you sometimes say it for no reason? Ba-dum-bum! You make a counter how many times they bring it up. I mean, I could pull up the game script and search for it. Anyway, if you couldn't tell by now, Athena has some connection to everything going on here. Starbuck recognized her. The robots recognized her. Aura Blackwell recognized her. She knew about Widget. So clearly, Athena has some connection to all this. December 19th, Detention Center, Visitor's Room. My lawyers are here. Must be bad news. Hey, not necessarily. We found a new witness. Researcher that saw the moment of the murder through the lounge window during her escape. Really? So they're going to let me go? Unfortunately, it was dark and she couldn't identify the person. Shouldn't have known. My stars are never aligned just right, too. We got a lead, too, Mr. Starbuck. The murderer had a lighter with an Earth emblem on it. A lighter with an Earth emblem? Oh! Did you remember something? Yep, I sure did. Just a little bit, though. Anything at all would be a help. So please tell us what you remembered. He doesn't know anything about the Hope Capsule, even though he was the one who launched it in space the first time. There's an unknown frontier out there beyond our little planet. I get so excited when I think about it, I don't know what to do with myself. Don't worry, you'll get the chance to go into space again once we clear your name. Right, you're right. I can't stay here. Is someone talking outside? No. Ready for launch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift off! The ceiling's no match for the soaring spirit of an astronaut. Have to just admit, that was pretty stirring just now. lighter. I thought I was unconscious the whole time. But now I remember I woke up for a few brief moments. That's huge! Do you remember seeing anything? A lighter. I saw the flame of a lighter floating in the darkness. Good, good. What else did you see? What was nearby? It was definitely the boarding lounge, so it must have been after Clay carried me there. In the light from the flame, I saw a dark shadow flickering. A dark shadow? That must have been... the third party we've been looking for. Thank you, Mr. Starbuck. You've been more help than you know. If we can prove there was a third person at the scene and that they're the real killer, he'll be cleared of all suspicion. He will be whether or not we can identify this third person in court tomorrow. At least we have something to go on now, and that's a big plus. Should probably tidy the evidence up a bit before someone mistakes me for a hoarder. What? Irrelevant evidence tidied up. Now that we have a glimmer of hope, I'm suddenly starving. I'm gonna go back to the office and treat ourselves to a big celebration in advance. For someone who's highly empathetic, you could be surprisingly unsympathetic. I think that's... no, that's not the end of the segment. December 19th, Wright Anything Agency. So you found your strategy for tomorrow's trial, huh? Good for you, Daddy. Well, it's one step forward anyway. Hopefully it'll give us a fighting chance in court. As long as we could find out who this third person is. Now let's get something to eat. I'm starving. My vote is for Eldoon's noodles. Oh! Apollo! What are you doing here? I didn't think that clinic was ready to release you yet. My wounds are fine, and I'm done lying around. Apollo, you're supposed to be in bed. Leave the case to us. We'll take it from here. Thanks, but it's not an option. Not for me. Apollo. When I became a lawyer, Clay was the first person I showed this badge to. He was so happy for me, it's like he just became a lawyer himself. You two were really great friends, weren't you? Yeah, but we were rivals, too. We fought to see who would make their dream come true first. But now... Apollo. Clay. He finally became an astronaut, just like he always wanted. How could this have happened just before his big launch? It's such a sad waste. I'll never forgive the person who murdered him. I completely understand why you feel that way, Apollo. But keep in mind that our job as defense attorneys is to save our client. I know that. That's why I... No, never mind. Huh? This piece of evidence. Oh, ouch! If I try to think, my head starts to hurt. You got hit really hard. That's your body telling you to take a rest. But I can't just lie in bed. Not when I have things to do for Clay's sake. He was attacked today. We found him unconscious today in the courtroom. And now he's up and moving. Shenanigans news, yeah. Not when I have things to do for Clay's sake. Guess he's just not going to listen no matter what I say. So I go off topic, but I think a fun sound for you to have on your channel as a redeem would be the sound from the enemy birds making Wind Waker. Oh, the eh. I like that sound. Could use it anytime something truly crazy happened. I have so many sounds that I want to put on my soundboard from years ago that I just had never done. I got this Stream Deck, excuse me, in 2022, almost 4 years ago, and I've only updated it once with new sounds. But you know what? Now that you say that, I'm actually gonna open that and put that on the list. I have like 30 ideas here. Wind Waker bird caw. I have one here that just says real boy, and I don't know what that means. I've killed Jesta, Celery Man, a cartoony gulp noise, Time for Crab, Crab Rave, Stinky Pete, Item Box Break noise from Sonic, Goku Drip sound effect, Reverb Fart, oh man. It's about to go nuts, we could probably take that one off there. What the fuck is Real Boy? What is that? What does that mean? Oh, man. When pepper. Oh, yeah, I keep forgetting about that, too. Press it and find out. No. I don't have the buttons in the thing. They're buttons I want to program into the Stream Deck at some point that I haven't. Spam Team related? It might be, because the one right before it is Big Shot. But there's no voice clip where he talks about being a real boy. Oh, maybe it's the music from the end of the Spam Team Neo fight. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe it's like the ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, that might be it. When he escapes his strings, yeah. Oh, right, I've cut down my evidence significantly here. This sounds like he's constantly getting hurt. Alright, it was just the two things he reacted to. Your injuries. You shouldn't underestimate your injuries, Apollo, and I don't want you overdoing it. I'm fine. I'm not in pain anymore. Besides, they just gave me an IV at the clinic. An IV isn't a cure-all, mummy man. Anyway, just tell me how the case is going. Have you guys made any progress? A suspicious figure was spotted at the scene. We think they must be the real killer. A suspicious figure, huh? Right. Thought you'd be happier than that. Oh, don't get me wrong, I'm happy. And I fully intend to see Clay's murderer apprehended. Absolutely nothing will get in the way of that. Clay Terran. Clay was your best friend, right, Apollo? That's right, best friend since junior high. Sounds like me and Junie. So what was Clay like? Well, he was full of compassion and energy, and he had a really loud voice. If the two of you did your voice training together, I bet you'd break a few windows. You know, I bet you're right. Seems like only yesterday, Clay was a guy who lived for his dreams. We used to talk about it a lot. He was going to be an astronaut, and me, a lawyer. Lawyer. We'd talk well into the night, and even then, we never grew tired of it. Apollo, about that jacket. Oh, it's Clay's. I knew it. It's a special jacket that was only issued to members of the Hat 1 project. He was finally able to get one of his own once he was selected for the Hat 2 mission. He always looked so proud wearing it. But just when his dream was finally coming true, I still can't believe it. Damn it! It's not fair! Apollo, I hope you don't try to carry the burden all alone. Yeah, I know I peeked. I know I absolutely peeked Mike there. I did not plan for that one. I guess we were both unlucky. My own debut was a disaster. Guess you're right on some level. That trial a year and a half ago wasn't exactly the smoothest of starts for him. That was a rough time for me, but Clay refused to let me quit. You're fine, he'd say. Don't give up. It was right during his screening exams, too. Couldn't have become a full-fledged lawyer without him. That you're fine of his is why I'm still standing here today. You're fine, huh? You're fine and I'm fine were like your catchphrases, weren't they? Something like that. Sure brings back memories. When we were in junior high, Clay's mom passed away in an accident. But he wouldn't show his sadness to anyone. But did you pay your fine, like he said? One night, I found him crying all alone in the school courtyard. Same sadness theme as the last chapter. Mom. Get away, Apollo. Don't come over here. Clay, listen to me. I don't have a mother either. Huh? Yeah, my mom's gonna... God, that fucking face. I always think everybody else has a mom. Why am I the only one? But, you know, when I start to feel that way, I yell at the top of my lungs. I holler, I'm fine. And then, you know what? I start to feel like maybe I really will be fine. It's like Serenity Now, which doesn't work. Apollo Justice is fine! Okay, Clay. Now it's your turn. Okay. Clay Terran is fine. There you go. Now we're both fine. We're fine. We're fine. What are you laughing about? See? We're fine. You laughed first. I'm fine. You're fine. We're both fine. Thanks, Apollo. When you say it out loud, it really starts to feel real. And as long as you don't give up, you could keep on fighting. That's what we believed. As long as you don't give up. Wasn't there somebody else who said something similar? Clay called Mr. Starbuck his mentor and looked up to him. Wonder if I could be a good role model for my staff like Mr. Starbuck. Sorry, Mr. Wright, but I'll be taking a leave of absence. What? Wait, what do you mean by a leave? I got a headache. I need some leave. You're really serious. Can you at least give me a reason why? When I put Clay's jacket on, I swore to him that I would catch his killer myself. But that's our goal, too. Oh, yeah, the fact that he actually has his mother. His mother is still alive. It's kind of fucked when you think about it. But that's our goal, too. I agree with Athena. We should work together to find the truth. The truth, huh? That's a noble cause. What if this truth you seek and the truth I seek turn out to be different? I'm not sure I'm not sure I follow. What are you saying, Apollo? Going to catch the person responsible for taking my friend's life, in my own way. Take good care of Mr. Starbuck for me. Now, I must be going. Goodbye. I'm not paying you. Goodbye? Did he just say goodbye? I sensed a lot of seething anger and hatred coming from him. And also, suspicion. He's not walking out on us like this. I'm going to go talk some sense into him. Hold on, Athena. Apollo can believe what he wants, but I believe he's wrong. Even if we take different paths, the truth we arrive at should be the same. I think the quicker we solve this case, the better it'll be for Apollo. Yeah, you're right, boss. Alright, that's enough for one day. Make sure you're ready for tomorrow's trial, okay? I'm definitely not finishing this tonight. This took a little longer than I thought. If we were here right now, Apollo would say, I'm fine. Everything is fine. I just hope things really do turn out fine tomorrow. I'll do as much of this as I can, and I'm going to probably stop in like 40 minutes. And then what I might do is I might start with this tomorrow and then move on to the Mega Man game I want to play. This case is one of the longest ones in the series. No, actually this case is pretty short, because it only has 2 courtroom days and 1 investigation. So it's technically shorter than the last 3. If you count the DLC case. December 20th, 10:15 a.m., District Court, Courtroom number 5. Wait, it's December already? I guess it was December 19th. Yeah. Day 2. Court is now in session. All rise! The judge is not there. Sometimes setting you were just fine sweeping... You were fine is just sweeping... Sometimes saying you were fine is just sweeping problems under the rug. Yes. It's like the Seinfeld thing. Serenity Now. It doesn't help you. It just represses the anger. I suppose we should reconvene for the trial of Solomon Starbuck or something.
Objection!
Your Honor, could you please come out from under your bench? There are no more bombs, I promise. Birdie. Hey, Pochiro, how you doing? Oh, yes, my apologies. Birdie. I'm still a little jumpy when it comes to trials involving bombs. I mean, first the courtroom exploded. Sorry, I'm just taking care of something real quick here. And then Mr. Tonate self-destructed. Guess that's one way of describing what happened to Tonate. Anyway, it seems that Mr. Justice was seriously wounded by Mr. Tonate's actions. So you, Mr. Wright, will be taking up the defense? Do you have an understanding of what's happened in the trial so far? Yes, Your Honor. The defense is ready. Very well. Is the prosecution also ready? I take it you'd like me to give the opening statement this time? Looks like the judge has become a pretty good mind reader. Well, he's certainly seen more than his fair share of colorful prosecutors. You could say he's something of a veteran of sorts. Let's see. In the previous part of this trial, we learned that the victim, Clay Terran, escaped from Launchpad 1, carrying the defendant, Solomon Starbuck. There were explosions on the second floor of the Space Center and on the rocket itself. And the two astronauts used the Launchpad 1 corridor to reach the boarding lounge. And? How could the victim climb down the ladder if he was carrying the defendant? That was the mystery that needed to be solved. But Mr. Justice proved that the victim was killed in the boarding lounge. Prosecutor Blackwell, were you able to discover any new facts related to this point? Upon further investigation, we discovered an oxygen tank fragment in the lounge. Surprisingly, it would appear that Justice Dono's argument was correct. So that means the testimonies of the first two people on the scene are suspect. Fine thing is, if you change their costumes, they're also wearing the costumes in the flashback. So you could have them wearing the incorrect clothes when they're remembering it. And just as our team was about to cross-examine Detective Arm, the courtroom bombing incident occurred, and the trial was put on hold. That accursed fellow. He killed my witness. He killed Detective Arm. He definitely put the kibosh on anyone asking her about what she saw. Exactly. In other words, the question of who killed the victim in the boarding lounge has once again become the main focus of this trial. It's obvious Prosecutor Blackwell still thinks it was Mr. Starbuck. Fulbright said that Blackwell has a thing against the astronaut. Nevertheless, the defense argues that there was a third person in the lounge, and that's who killed the victim.
Objection!
Humph. To make such reckless claims in a courtroom takes a bold man, or a stupid one. There was no third person in the boarding lounge. Or have you gone dotty already? Old man.
Objection!
So I guess I say the prosecutor was disarmed. Da-da-da. I had a sound effect for that. We'll see who's the dotard after I trounce you with my years of experience, little boy. In any case, Mr. Starbuck claims he saw someone leaving the lounge. Furthermore, a Space Center employee also saw a suspicious figure at the scene. Ooh, that was a New Jersey accent right there. Saw Con. These nuts. They saw a third person. I see my sister has been running her mouth. That's right, I almost forgot that Aura's Prosecutor Blackwell's sister. No matter, she didn't see this mystery person's face clearly. Therefore, there is no evidence to indicate that this person was not the defendant. Guess the possibility that the figure was Mr. Starbuck is still there. In brief, we need to determine if a third person was there or not. To this end, we should hear the testimony of one of the first people on the scene. Director Cosmos, huh? Very well. Bailiff, please bring the witness to the stand. Here he comes. Why, I believe I've seen you before in the newspapers. Of course you have. Of course you have. For I am Yuri Cosmos, director of the Cosmos Space Center, which was of course named after me, Yuri Cosmos. Grandpa. The judge is probably older than him, though. Don't you have anything you wish to ask me? Looks like he's all geared up to do some bragging. 7 years ago, take a shot. I successfully launched the Hat 1 and... Everyone already knows how brilliant you are. Even I am trying to hold back my tears at seeing such a great man standing before me. So could you please proceed directly to your important testimony? I see this fine young lad has had a proper appreciation of greatness. Then allow me to begin my epochal testimony that will be recorded in the annals of history. That speech of Prosecutor Blackwell's just now sounded more to me like he was poking fun at Director Cosmos. Probably for the best that it sailed right over the director's head. Now then, Director Cosmos, the condensed version of your illustrious testimony, please. Question answered, Karma. What I saw at the scene. Detective Arm and I rushed towards the boarding lounge together. We went via the control room and peeked in from there to see what was going on inside. We saw a figure standing in the middle of the lounge and Terran lying on the floor. I hate to say it, but I can only imagine this standing figure must have been Starbuck. I see. So in your testimony you claim you arrived on the scene after the two had escaped the launch pad to the lounge, and just after the victim had been killed. Oh, the horror, the humanity! But what I said is what I saw, and what I saw is what I said. Courageous action to take in the face of such terrifying explosions, would you say? To save my men, I went personally into the epicenter of danger, risking my own life for theirs. So, you know how I found out about the word epicenter? There used to be a column in Nintendo Power based around RPGs, like back when the Chrono Trigger Final Fantasy days on Super Nintendo, and it was called the Epic Center, like as a play on words. And then my mom was like, "Oh, I think it's supposed to sound like the word epicenter," and I was like, "Ah." And then I learned what epicenter meant. Well, what do you know? Sounds like the director really cares about his men. Yeah, although it sounds more like he was scared and just had a peek from far away. Is the defense ready to cross-examine the witness? Yes, Your Honor. Director Cosmos' testimony is pretty vague. I'm going to have to press him and draw out more information before I do anything else.
Hold it!
Where were you coming from? The 6th floor. We were making sure any stragglers made their way to the 4th floor. It was then that we heard about Starbuck and Terran and hurried to the 3rd floor lounge. On my galactic scooter here, of course. Why do you keep calling it galactic? Does it have something to do with space? Of course, it's specifically designed to be used on galactic battleships. I see. Then I take it works in 0G too? Sadly, no, with the current state of technology as it is. I'm afraid it would just float about and be galactically useless. Well, that's a galactic bummer. I see, so you rushed to the boarding lounge on your space-age pogo stick. When you got to the scene, what did you see? We went via the control room and peeked in for...
Hold it!
So Palkia and Dialga... What? Space and time. Let's see, according to this diagram... You didn't have to go through the control room to get to boarding lounge 1. It looks like you could have gone there from the southern corridor as well. But the elevators were out. Yes, but in her haste, Detective Arm rushed ahead of me towards the control room. All I could do was merely follow behind her. I see. So we peeked into the boarding lounge from the control room door and...
Hold it!
So you couldn't see who that figure was clearly or what they were doing. Sadly, the only thing I could tell was that it was a person, standing motionless. The defendant, no doubt, staring aghast at his deed. What other explanation is there? I'm so close, but without evidence, I can't prove that the person's a third party. I don't relish in this, and...
Hold it!
Laura Blackquill also saw a suspicious figure in the lounge, but she gave the statement that it was too dark to see the person's face clearly. Did you see the figure's face clearly? No, not clearly. The lighter they were holding illuminated the area around their feet at the time, but other than that I could see little else. That's why I could see Terran, but I couldn't see who the other person was. So for all you know, it might not have been Mr. Starbuck, isn't that correct? I would like to believe that. Starbuck isn't the type of man who's capable of murder.
Objection!
When the witness entered the boarding lounge, there was no third person there. Isn't that correct, Great Space Center Director? Yes, that's right. Only Starbuck and Terran were there by that time. After we peeked in, the lounge suddenly went dark and the figure vanished. Bird up. Hey, Quillsoft. You mean they disappeared? That's odd.
Objection!
The reason the figure appeared to vanish is because it was the defendant. When the witnesses weren't looking, he fell to the floor and feigned unconsciousness.
Hold it!
Hold on. Director Cosmos did... Hold on. Director Cosmos, did you ever take your eyes off the scene? Just for a brief instant. About as long as it takes for a shooting star to go by. What did I miss? I don't know. When did you stop watching? If you took your eyes off the scene... And this third person could have escaped during that time. What escape route could this person have used? My modem conked out when you were talking to Apollo. Oh. Well, it's the next day and we're interrogating, Yuri Cosmos now. Karma, those are good emotes, but context. The direction opposite the control room, the southern door to the elevators. Chonk, yes, I know. Chonk. There's no security lock on that door, so it would have been possible to escape that way.
Objection!
All things are possible, right, Dono? The real question is, do you have any proof? Knew it. Well... If we're just talking possibilities, we can each profess whatever we'd like. An inmate who used to be a university professor and lunar researcher used to say that there is a kingdom of little green men who live under the surface of the moon. Inmate who used to be a university professor. Are they talking about Professor Means? As long as they don't punish us in the name of said moon for what we've done to it. Sailor Moon reference. Context that you're cute, round, and quite huggable. Thank you. But I say, where's your proof that this quaint kingdom exists? He's calling your theory a work of fiction, boss. And he's right. I still don't have any proof. Yet. The southern door is a possible escape route. Better make a mental note of that. Director Cosmos, may I ask you a question? Yes? Why did you look away from the boarding lounge? There's actually another tale of bravery behind the answer to that. It was when Detective Arms saw the figure and raised her gun. Being a great humanitarian and protector of mankind, I tried to stop her. What? You're saying Detective Arm raised her gun as soon as she saw the figure? I imagine her instincts as a detective told her that they were the killer. I don't know about that. Were you able to prevent Detective Arm from firing her gun? I'm afraid I was too late. I was unable to stop her. She identified herself clearly, and then... she fired 2 warning shots at the shadowy figure. This information about Detective Arm's actions sounds critically important. Please add it to your testimony. Detective Arm fired 2 warning shots at the figure. Well, we know that's not right. A single bullet hole.
Objection!
Are you sure you were really paying attention to what Detective Arm was doing? You doubt my words? Words that will someday be written down in the history books? Somehow, I don't think those exact words will ever be written down in any history books. Mr. Wright, could you please explain yourself so that we can all understand? You say that Detective Arm fired 2 warning shots, and yet only 1 bullet hole was ever found at the scene. What? A gun with 1 bullet, yeah. Only 1 bullet hole means the gun was only fired once. And yet Director Cosmos is saying Detective Arm fired 2 shots. No editor would allow such a glaring contradiction in a history book.
Objection!
Unfortunately for you, the witness's words are true. We confirm that 2 shots were fired from Detective Arm's gun.
Objection!
But there was only 1 bullet hole at the scene. Where did the other bullet vanish to? Ah! You should know the answer to that already. I should? During the previous trial, a certain oxygen tank was presented as evidence. We've already discussed that it was ruptured in the lounge, have we not? Well, it appears that the thing that ruptured it was a bullet. A bullet that was found near the tank, to be precise. This bullet was fired from a .38 caliber gun, the same caliber as the detective's gun. What? Oxygen tank, updating the court record. The victim's oxygen tank was struck by a bullet. The rifling marks also match up. There's no question the bullet was fired from Detective Arm's gun. Bullet found near the victim's oxygen tank was fired from a .38 caliber handgun. Rifling marks. They're like a gun's fingerprints on a bullet, correct? And examining the rifling marks on a bullet can tell us the gun it was fired from. One of the bullets the detective fired found its way into the holographic image display. The other bullet came to a stop near the victim's oxygen tank. The evidence confirms the director's statement that the detective fired 2 shots. My beautiful contradiction. Gone. All gone. So that bullet hole was from a .38 caliber, huh? Better update the court record. Made by a bullet fired from a .38 caliber gun. Very good. Now we know the fate of both shots Detective Arm fired. Mr. Wright, does that clear up all of your questions? Detective Arm fired 2 warning shots. One hit the holographic display and the other hit the oxygen tank. Does that really clear up everything about what happened at the scene? Of course not. No, Your Honor, it doesn't. Detective Arm fired 2 warning shots from a .38 caliber gun. But that doesn't explain the existence of a certain piece of evidence found at the scene. A piece that points to the existence of a third person. Oh? Very well, but it won't do us to keep us waiting, Mr. Wright. What piece of evidence suggests the possibility of a third person at the scene?
Take that!
10 caliber bullet. And what is this metal pellet supposed to be? Just a little something of great importance we found at the crime scene, Your Honor. You found it where? In a floor gutter at the crime scene. Looks like the police and prosecution both missed it. Furthermore, this is a 10 caliber bullet, making it much smaller than the one Detective Arm's making it much smaller than one of Detective Arm's .38 calibers. And then that means... Exactly. One more person must have been there in the lounge. A third person who had a gun that could fire 10 caliber bullets. Ugh. And if that's true, it explains why Detective Arm fired warning shots. The third person fired at Detective Arm and Director Cosmos with their gun. And in return, the detective fired her warning shots. Isn't that how it really went down, Director Cosmos? It looks like you've deduced my miraculous tale of survival. Yes, you're absolutely correct. The mystery person fired upon us. And if they fired upon them, that means they came through the other door, not the control center door. What's this now? What? You never breathed a word of any of this to me before. Well, all great men have a secret or two, don't you know? Foolish old geezer. So Director Cosmos really has been hiding the presence of a third person all along? Director Cosmos, I want you to testify to the court about what you really saw. You may be a very great man, but in my courtroom you are just another witness. You won't receive special treatment here. Now please give accurate testimony. What I really saw at the scene. Detective Arm and I rushed into the control room together. In the lounge, we saw a figure standing in the middle of the room and tearing on the floor. We were still in the control center to the east when the figure fired at us. Can I get a peanut butter sandwich? Cool. Hey, Razu. Uh-huh, sure, no special treatment. Given that there was no third person in the lounge when the witness entered it, does this mean the person who fired the gun had to have been the defendant? How you doing, Razu? Not necessarily. It's still possible it was someone else. Most likely as soon as Detective Arm and Director Cosmos discovered this person, they escaped through the southern door, the one that didn't have a security lock.
Objection!
Double-edged swords are a tricky lot. Mishandled it one, and it's you who was cut down. I'm okay, feeling a bit better sleep-wise. Nice, that's good. Huh? Your reasoning could apply if Spaceboy were the killer as well. Think about it. After being discovered, he could have fired the 10 caliber gun. Detective Arm would have responded by firing 2 warning shots. All he had to do was feign unconsciousness to invent the possibility of a third person.
Objection!
But Mr. Starbuck didn't have a gun in his possession when he was found by the police. Nor has a gun been found at the crime scene. Its absence can only be explained if there was a third party who took it with them.
Objection!
Recall the existence of a trash chute in the boarding lounge. The defendant could have simply thrown the gun down the chute.
Objection!
But you can't deny the possibility of a third person leaving with the weapon.
Objection!
It's up to you to prove that possibility, and I trust you haven't forgotten my little piece of decisive evidence. What evidence? Why, the detonator switch that was found in Mr. Starbuck's pocket, naturally. The most compelling evidence of all that tells us he's the culprit. Ah! I did forget all about that. Look, Your Baldness, how deliciously obvious it is that they lack the evidence to rival mine. Wow, he sliced over our third-person theory to ribbons and served it to us just like that. Yes, well, I actually have a question of my own. That bullet that the mysterious figure shot, what did it hit exactly? It hit me. So does that mean you're a ghost? I was wondering when you would realize it, Your Baldness. Director Cosmos is an authentic, bona fide ghost. He can even pass through walls.
Objection!
Prosecutor Blackquill, shame on you for teasing the nice old gentleman. Your Baldness, it was all in jest. Please show yourself again. Contempt of court for that shit. Are you sure? In that case, how did you manage to survive being shot, Director Cosmos? I'm glad you asked. It was a miracle befitting a great history-making figure, such as myself. The bullet hit my glorious Medal of Honor, whereby it ricocheted, thus saving my life. Oh, never mind, that kind of removes the theory that, they were in the other door. That's unbelievable. I have to check this out. Oh wow, look at that. There's one extra Gyaxa star. The odds are literally astronomical. Guess it really was a miracle. I didn't really feel like the Cosmos is watching out for Director Cosmos. But why did you conceal this information, Director Cosmos? Detective Cosmos. A great man such as myself has to hide things on occasion, no matter how much it hurts. It is the plight of the truly great. May be hard for this generation to understand. I don't know, but it sounds fishy to me. What else is he hiding? Let's just cross-examine him and see what we could find out. Now then, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please.
Hold it!
And then back, had peanut butter sandwich with roasted peanuts. Ooh, that sounds interesting. We don't buy crunchy peanut butter usually, and I'm always curious about how good crunchy peanut butter is, because I do like peanuts. We've already heard all about that part. Don't you have any new information? Well, let me see. If you have about an hour or two, I could tell you all about the Hat 1 miracle.
Hold it!
We already know all about that, too. Tell us about something related to this incident. I see. You want to know about incidents. Well, then let me tell you about the many incidents that made me the man I am today. If you have the time, I will tell you all about the upbringing of this great man.
Hold it!
Now, we have it here, too. I just never have it because no one else in my family eats crunchy peanut butter. You've told us all about that already as well. What we need now is your testimony. Did I already tell you all about my upbringing? I don't recall doing so. Director Cosmos, perhaps you could save your boastful tales for later. If I must. Well, we peeked into the control room door and... Love crunchy. Oh man, I want to try it now. I'm hungry.
Hold it!
But it was dark, so you couldn't see this figure's face, isn't that right? Yes, the room was as deep and dark as outer space itself. Speaking of outer space, during the Hat 1 launch 7 years ago, take a shot. If it's about the Hat 1 miracle again, you could sod off and tell it to a stray mutt. Haha, excellent idea! No reason why the animal world shouldn't hear my greatness. I'll go tell Karma. He's that thing in the background on the boarding lounge. And so they shall, but first your testimony. What happened next?
Hold it!
So in other words, you were fired at while you were in the control room door. That is correct. There's something not quite right about that. Director Cosmos, the bullet this person fired hit you, isn't that right? Yes, it was a miracle befitting the great history-making figure such as myself. The bullet the figure fired hit me while I was in the control room. But as the Cosmos would have it, the bullet bounced off my glorious Medal of Honor. In that case, the bullet should have wound up somewhere around the control room door. Yep, this completely changes the placement of them. Okay, so Director Cosmos was in the control room to the east. And while he was there, he was shot by someone with a 10 caliber gun. But the bullet hit his metal, so he was able to escape with his life. He's a very lucky man. No wonder people think he's great. Hey, I'm pretty lucky myself, so if he's a great man, then I'm the king of all Cosmos. Good Katamari reference there. Yuri Cosmos. You're in Cosmos. Yep, that and Yuri's just kind of like, you know, Russian name.
Objection!
So obviously he wasn't in the control room. He's lying. Director Cosmos, I believe you're telling this great court a glorious lie. A great man like me lie? Not just any name, Yuri Gagarin, yeah. The cosmonaut. Have you ever heard of such a thing in all of history? My accusation is based on the positions of the people who were in the lounge. Wasn't there a guy named Yuri in the Great Ace Attorney? Actually, I don't know. It's a good question. This came up before the Great Ace Attorney did, though. According to your testimony, you and Detective Arm were near the control room door, and the mystery figure was standing in the middle of the boarding lounge. If, as you say, the figure fired a gun at you from this position, then the bullet would have traveled in this direction. However, we found the 10 caliber bullet here. Oh. This trajectory and where the bullet was actually found contradict each other. Director Cosmos, where were you really when you were being shot at? Ah! Oh, damn it, I skipped that by accident. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the human merry-go-round.
Objection!
Don't tell me you've already forgotten. Didn't the witness himself just tell you? The bullet hit his metal. Of this, there is no mistake.
Objection!
But in that case, the bullet should have been found near the east side of the room. You trying to say that you can explain this inconsistency? Of course. I didn't think so. Wait, what? Oh, great Director Cosmos. Yes? Is there something you'd like me to expound upon? You were in fact not in the control room to the east, were you? You were looking into the lounge from the door to the south, is that not right? Ah! What are you getting at? Use your brain. Use your own brain. Use your brain, forehead. Your head must have has some use other than housing that bird's nest. Bird's nest? Why does everyone pick on my hair? Speen. Director Cosmos. So I was scratching my nose. Dr. Cosmos and the detective witnessed the scene from the southern door. The killer fired at them there, and that's why the bullet was found in the south. Ah, that makes some sense, actually. Also, the witness being at the southern door is rather favorable for the prosecution. Huh? Huh? I've got a bad feeling about this. How about it, Director, if you don't tell the truth this time? Shackles broken. Yikes! His handcuffs! It will become but rust upon my sword. I relish the chance to cut down a great man. Alright, I'll tell the truth. Just put your sword away. You are correct. I, the great Yuri Cosmos, was looking into the room from the southern door. What? That's the complete opposite of all the testimony he's given so far. And now you've lost your possibility that a third person was in the room. I have? How? The director and the detective were near the southern door, meaning the killer couldn't have escaped through there. The western door required print recognition. The corridor beyond was filled with smoke. The only escape route left was the eastern control room door. And the only way to get through there was with Director Cosmos' foot fingerprints. In short, there would be no escape for any third person had there been one in there. My third person just disappeared, like in one of Trucy's magic tricks. Order. Order in the court. Director Cosmos, why did you tell such an outrageous lie? You were covering for the defendant. Isn't that right? So the witness lied multiple times. Prosecution, how do we still trust the witness? Yes, it was all for my love of my men. If I said I was in the eastern control room, it would mean the culprit could have escaped through the southern door. It would have meant that the person there could have been a third person. All I wanted to do was protect Starbuck. I said it was in the court control room who invented an escape route with a third person. What a convoluted lie. Was he really covering for the defendant? It looks like we've come to a conclusion that the defense's argument, the possibility of a third person, has crumbled. No! It's over. Yikes. Judge is about to hand down his verdict. Think, Phoenix, think. This is the perfect time to try and turn my thinking around. If a third person had no way of escaping the scene, then what if one of the people at the scene was this third person? Wait, what if the whole premise is all wrong? Director Cosmos said that he and Detective Arm rushed to the scene together. But what if that premise isn't true? What if one of them reached the scene before the other one? And if that person entered the lounge, then they would be the third person. The defendant is the only one who could have killed the victim and shot the director. There doesn't appear to be any room for argument against these claims. I will now render my verdict.
Objection!
Please wait, Your Honor. There's still one possibility. Oh, this had better be good, Mr. Wright. There's one and only one person who could have escaped from the scene. 5 head time? No. And that person would have been the first person who arrived in the scene. Then upon entering the boarding lounge, the second person who arrived came via the second door. That's why the first person fled from the room, using an escape route that was accessible only to them. Alright, well, let's hear more about this theory. Who is this one person that could have escaped from the boarding lounge? Well, Yuri, because he's the only one that could use the fingerprint.
Take that!
What? But that's... Mr. Wright, what are you claiming here? Of all the people who were at the scene, only the witness could have escaped. The director is the only one with the authority to open the control room door, after all. But that means... Oh, that wasn't the right voice. But that means... Exactly. The true identity of the third person is our current witness. Director Yuri Cosmos. Arrgh! What? What? Say what? Order. Order in the court, I say. Mr. Wright, you will explain yourself in more detail. I assert that Director Cosmos arrived at the scene before Detective Arm and entered the boarding lounge alone. Detective Arm arrived after and saw a suspicious figure who was actually Director Cosmos standing in the lounge. And that's why she fired those 2 warning shots. I've been hit! I've been hit on the starboard side! Well, wait, that doesn't explain why he has the bullet from the 10 caliber in his badge. Captain Wright, it's a direct hit on the enemy ship, sir. Magnificent shot. Warning shots fired from the enemy ship. Prepare to intercept. Cosmos, you have told a lie in this court once again. I've been hit! I've been hit on the port side! The enemy's called in reinforcements! Earth's the Cosmos Control Center, requesting permission to ask that you return to reality. My ship will not go down to anything less than the ultimate weapon of evidence.
Objection!
But I do have evidence. In fact, wee woo. You could say that your battleship bears its scar. If Director Cosmos is the third person Aura Blackquill saw. Oh, Detective Arm fired at Yuri. Detective Cosmos was the one who fired the 10 caliber gun. When Detective Arm discovered him in the lounge, it only makes sense that he would have turned and shot at her. Therefore, the evidence on the director's body is of a different kind of relevance than before. Now I know why the first case breakdown wasn't so grand and why the second case was the funniest breakdown. It's because timeline-wise, the second case was the first case, yeah. Once we compare it to another piece of evidence, the mark that you received from the third party will be all the proof we need to prove that you were the one there in the lounge. Brace for further impact. Comparison against this piece of evidence will prove that you were the one in the lounge.
Take that!
The 38 caliber bullet found on the floor at the scene that didn't hit the oxygen tank. It hit Director Cosmos' metal. If we have that ricochet mark on the metal analyzed, I'm sure the caliber will match up. Wow, Arm. So Detective Arm shot an innocent person without knowing that they committed anything. Then again, I guess if she saw Terran dead, she would have to assume that the person on the scene did it. But still, very shoot first, ask questions later type thing. Not cool, Detective Arm. I'm starting to feel less sympathetic that you're dead. We have that ricochet mark on the metal analyzed. I'm sure the caliber will match up. And if that mark proves to be from a 38 caliber bullet, it will prove that you were the third person we've been looking for. Ah, the bridge is destroyed. Losing altitude. All hands abandon ship. If that's true, then what about the bullet that hit the oxygen tank? It was the 10 caliber bullet. In other words, oh yeah, Cosmos did identify himself. That's not good. It was the bullet fired by Yuri Cosmos. Isn't that right, Director? No! You've got it all wrong! What? The engines have started again? It's a miracle! I'm not going down just yet! Witness, stop this at once and confess the truth! If you don't want the history books to say that a great man was a great liar, then accept your fate and tell the truth! Are you giving me orders? Me, the great director of the Cosmos Space Center? But the cosmos revolves around me! Someone get me off this thing! Order in the court, and will someone please stop the witness from spinning? Yeah, dizzy eyes. Phew, thank goodness we were able to stop him from spinning off the face of the earth. While he was twirling, I took the liberty of running an analysis on the mark on the metal. It was made by a 38 caliber bullet, matching it with the size of Detective Arm's firearm. Ah! Are you ready to confess the truth, witness? No, you've got it all wrong. This is just a misunderstanding. Is he going to start piling on more lies? Looks like it. But no matter how many lies he tells, I'll just expose them one by one. I'll make that big liar tell the truth. Oh, wow. Okay. You know what? Perfect place to stop, then. There's probably one more segment left in the case. That's not the end of his cross-examination, because I know how it ends. That's not the ending animation for him. Alright, yeah, I'm going to just stop right here, because if it's like another hour, then it's 4 already. So, a little longer than I thought it would be, but we're getting close. I think what I might do is, so tomorrow I'm going to stream a Mega Man game, as I've mentioned. But I think what I might do is I might start with this and just finish Case 4. Actually, maybe not, actually. It might be better to save the end of this case for when I do Case 5 as well. So maybe we'll just resume this next week from where we leave off. But definitely expect a Mega Man game tomorrow. I don't know if I'll stream Saturday. If I do, it'll probably be more Mega Man, but we'll have to see. But seriously, as always, I want to thank you all for coming. It means a lot to me. I really appreciate it. Want to watch more streams? Check out twitch.tv/team/littlespace. Doesn't look like there's many people streaming there right now. But Feywilds is streaming, and they don't usually. I don't usually see them here around this time. Let me see if they're. Let me see how long they've been streaming. Yeah, can we raid Feywilds? Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking. Thanks for the stream, big guy. Of course. Thank you, Razu. Oh. They've been streaming for 12 hours. Shush ads. Alright, well, I'll raid them. Why not? Oh, there's another E in that. Alright. Thank you for coming, everyone. Stick around, say hi to Feywilds. And come back tomorrow for some Meggy Mans. Take care, everyone. Good night.